There we go. Oh no, my headphones. Okay. Test test. We all good? Alrighty. Let me pull that up as I do this. Okay. All good there. Nice. Well, hope everyone's having a good evening. Got a little bit delayed today because while I was doing my training, like I said, I was originally an insurance agent out in Arizona. So I had my Arizona insurance license, and I've been reworking on my Texas insurance license in earnest. So I was doing some more chapters today. Got to a life insurance chapter that was pretty big. So it took a bit longer to get through, but after I got through the quizzes on that one, I was happy. Between the information I already knew, plus some refresher course on things, certainly helped out. So I'm going to keep trekking along on that. But that's all my real life stuff. And I'm here because I'm excited to get to play a little bit of World of Warcraft. After doing all that. So yeah, I got a good workout in. Made some stir fry for dinner, and I'm ready to just have a bit of fun. So where I left off yesterday was I'd only gotten to about 18 and a half. Definitely got quite a bit delayed in the Barrens because there's just lines for everything. So I did a little bit back in Silver Pine, and just with all the back and forth and stuff, definitely didn't get as far as I was thinking I might yesterday. So I'm really hoping I can make it at a bare minimum to level 20 today. I stopped at about 18 and a half or so yesterday, and this morning I was able to wake up early, and I was like, you know what, I need to get those 4 bosses before anyone gets there. There were still lines there. They're a bit smaller, but I swear I spent like almost an hour just trying to do all 4 of those. I'm just like, this is ridiculous. And I'd said on this character that I'm going to try to crest and grind my way to 60 this first playthrough. And I'm still going to do that, but yeah, it might be a bit of a slog. If even once I finally, push, like everyone's struggling in the sub 20 zones. If I get above 20, like when I go to Stone Talon, or maybe eventually, down to Stranglevale or whatnot, will I still have to um, deal with a ton of that, or hopefully will it just slowly just thin out because there's nowhere near as many people higher? We'll see. So what I want to do is I just simply just want to jump right into it, see where I left off, and then just start making decisions on where to go from there. So let's switch this back over to the actual gameplay. There we go. Okay, let me get oriented real quick. I did have a couple of those, so I need to make one for the Hellstone right off the bat. And then... okay, I need to turn in the Kolkar Leaders quest. So my next thing is, some of these missions are level 19, 20, but then there was a bunch of like 16 to 18 quests down here. So I was thinking I should probably do those ones first, and then push up to the next ones. And these ones I feel push into Stone Talon. And then after I do all that, I have quest in Silver Pine. I really want to do this one because I get a staff that gives me 7 stamina. But that's I think it was a level 21 or 22, something like that. So we gotta wait a second on that one, I think. So we'll go back there not too long from now. Oh, I picked up a Stone Talon quest where it's something taking up a bag slot right now, I think. Oh yeah, I'd kept that just in case I get an offhand. Oh yeah, I think I know where I need to start. So on top of that, what I was going to do is Gary over at Nerdrotic, you know, in the background. We'll have him talking. He does his Nerdrotic Nooners on Wednesdays, and we'll see what he has to say. It looks like about the Flash review. Apparently Hollywood's in panic mode for stuff, so we'll listen to what he has to say as we play through. Soulstone him. Oh, you know, it makes the Soulstone. Oh, it has to be a player. Okay. I wanted to see if I could Soulstone him, but I had a feeling the answer was no. That guy's gonna be great. That's all the Wailing Cavern stuff.
If you're looking to take your PvE combat to the next...
I was about to say, what the...
What's up? What's up, everybody? We're not that late. It's only 8 minutes. You're not going to notice in Spotify world out there, but thank you, everyone. And before we even get started, F's in the chat for Ray Stevenson, man. Ray Stevenson passed away unexpectedly. We'll just say at 58.
That
the greatest Punisher. Got to meet him at
Gary's
the Comic
Nerdrotic
Outpost way back when they were premiering the Punisher Warzone. Completely sweet guy. Stayed until the last person. The line went down the street, around the corner. He stayed past his time, gave everybody their time until the last person was done.
Oh, I'm a lot
really
farther
appreciate that.
along than
Got
I
to
thought. I'm
know him,
closer
hung
to
out with him for a
19.
day, you know.
90% in.
And totally cool dude. So rest in peace, Ray.
Unless I do something
Stevenson.
stupid, we're hitting
Totally
20 today.
Blood and thunder.
Watch Punisher Warzone if you haven't. It's a damn fine
For the Horde.
Punisher movie. He's also in Rome and so many other things.
Fair.
Those are
Oh,
the best things
okay.
he's in my opinion.
I think I know which one that's at.
Yeah, we
That's
also
good, 'cause
have
that
a
brings
bit
me
of
over here. And close down to here, it
swing
looks
it the other
like.
way. We hit 750,000 subscribers today. So thank you. I don't have words for how grateful I am. This has been tons of fun. It continues to be tons of fun, and that's the important thing. Having the time of my life. Oh, dog in the background. Got a dog. Parents.
Oh,
For those
hi,
of you at
baby.
home,
Yeah.
there's a couple of cute dogs walking behind X-Ray Go. And yeah, so a mild celebration today, and we'll probably do another one before FNT. But yes, we have a bit. You know, everybody loves a nooner.
No Warlock's on
Even
the
if it's
list yet.
It's an 11:38er instead of a nooner. But
11:38.
It's almost nooner time.
in the end, everything comes out the same. I was waiting.
They're
for
so
that
silly.
one. And yes, Chris Gore has seen The Flash. So he will talk about it. It will be non-spoiler for you spoiler phobes out there. It will be non-spoiler. So yes, 750,000. You're right, chat. 750,000. So welcome, Chris. How's it going?
It's
My
going well,
stamina is
Gary. I'm
red
excited for
because
you
it's
at
-3 because
750,000.
of
That
the
means
bracers, right?
that puts you
Or
well
which
ahead
one
of
of
Dan
these?
Vask.
Actually not. but-
Does it? I
No.
don't know. Should we check on him?
No, it's
Should
not.
we see how he's
I'm
doing?
still behind Dan Vask, but that's
You're
not-
behind?
Oh,
Well, you know,
No.
I
Very
didn't
smash.
go out and sing this beautiful
What? I had
Christian
one
song
item, yeah, it was,
that
like,
gave
negative
him access to
spirit.
a whole new audience, and
Oh,
there's no
no.
danger of that ever happening on this channel. But yeah, nah, he put out a great song. It went a bit viral, and yeah, it's kind of
Wait,
kicking
I
my ass
thought it
right now, but it's
was-
all right. It's all right. I'm,
Was that my
I'm
shaman?
nipping at his heels still, and this is a marathon, not a sprint.
Yeah, for
So
sure.
so I got to start
Oh, I believe in
marathoning.
you, Gary.
So I got to start sprinting while he marathons. But dude, yeah, you saw the Flash, you saw Little Mermaid. I'm actually gonna see Little Mermaid, which is something that would have never have crossed my mind. But I'm like, oh well, you know, it's gonna
Well,
be topic of conversation. So.
I haven't seen Little Mermaid. Alan.
Oh,
saw
Alan saw it. That's
Alan's
right.
a-
Yeah.
Alan's a huge Disney fan, and he hated it. He hated it. He said it's gonna really make like at about the 90-minute mark. The movie is 2 hours and 15 minutes.
why
And
so long?
exactly, he said at the 90-minute mark, kids were squirming because he saw it at a screening with like a lot of kids, and he said that it is not going to get
need to
repeat
go up here.
business. There are going to be fewer showings because of the running time. Hollywood, let me just say this. This is maybe a discussion for another stream.
Yeah, longer
Hollywood has a
runtime
running
can't
time
create-
problem. Why are these movies so long? Why can't Hollywood make a 2-hour movie? It becomes, especially when you add trailers in, going to the movies now is a 3-hour experience.
Yeah.
Give me a good 90-minute comedy. What's happened to that? I mean, Indiana Jones is 2:30, right? Like, you know, The Flash is 2:25. Little Mermaid is 2:15. These movies don't need to be over 2 hours. They don't. Now, Oppenheimer, I've heard is 3 hours. That's going to be an Oscar movie. It's Christopher Nolan. I'll let that one slide. But Jesus, these movies are too long these days, and they haven't earned the running time.
Yeah, 3 hours isn't
No,
bad for like big epic
I think
movies.
it's as dumb. I think
But
it's as absolutely
just
dumb.
normal
as,
movies
there
like
was
comedies
another
and stuff, hour and a half to 2
$1 billion
hours.
movie that went over 3 hours, and they're
Better.
like, well, maybe that's the key. It's 3 hours. It's
Mention,
the
yeah, you make more
producers
money
and
'cause you get
idiots
more
in Hollywood and
showtimes,
the bakers
especially if they're
all
good.
Focus so much on their pie charts and their focus groups
Why
that
did
they
I do
just
this right from the beginning?
never recognize that it's the story, and they're looking so far in the analytics that they're like, Avatar was over 2 hours, maybe our movie needs to be to over 2 hours. I also think it has something to do with streaming services and minutes watched. I think it
Oh,
definitely.
you think so?
Yeah.
I mean, like, why wouldn't they just release this? Used to be a thing. Remember, you've got your theatrical cut, then there would be the director's cut, or the extended cut. I actually like extended cuts. The Lord of the Rings, the extended
Oh,
cuts
yeah,
are
that's the
great.
only
I
cut
mean,
to
I
ever
love
watch.
the theatrical versions. They're fine. The extended cuts are amazing. Same thing with, I mean, look, whatever you think of Zack Snyder's Justice League, I actually liked it. I thought it was, I liked the extended cut. You know, or I
Sure,
mean, his real version, that is. The real
Once in a
version, that
while,
was-
there'll be a good one. Most
Yeah,
of the time,
exactly.
I could not agree with you more. I'm 90 minutes to 2 hours. Sisu was a perfect length. If it had gone a minute longer, it would have probably gotten a little. It would have started dragging. But 93 minutes, boom. You know, it was
Oh,
perfect.
you need
it
the
was
key.
perfect. And yeah, I love the extended cuts too. I can't even remember watching the theatrical cuts now.
Yeah.
I put a disc in accidentally, and I recognized it immediately. No,
I can't.
no, I can't. And I went back in. So yeah, dude, a 2 hour and 20-minute Little Mermaid.
Yeah, let's go
movie.
turn this one in. It's probably going to
Flash
chain
is
again.
2 hours and 20 minutes, right?
I highly
Yeah,
doubt
2
it's
hours
going to end on
20.
just
Indiana
a silver
Jones
quest.
is 2 hours and 20 minutes. Like Indiana Jones
if
has
it
no
goes down
business being
south or
2
not.
hours and 20 minutes. Ooh, when do you get to see that one, Chris?
I don't know. I'm not exactly. Look, certain studios, I'm just not on their, good list.
You're
and
not
by
on the
way,
Christmas list.
Yeah. By the way, The Flash. I went to a fan.
Yeah, Chris
screening.
Gore with Film
My
Threat.
friend,
He's
I can't. I don't want to.
he's one of those guys that gets to go to pre-screenings and report on them and
He
stuff.
kind of knows how to do this.
It's pretty cool.
He was waiting in line at 10 a.m. So shout out to my friend. He knows who he is. 10 a.m. I rolled
I went to
in
a
at
test
5
screening
p.m.,
once
and then we all walked
for
in
one of the
just before
Terminator
movie
movies.
started, about
That was an interesting
6:55.
experience.
So I feel very
It was
fortunate.
before
I
all the
was in there with a
CG and
bunch
stuff
of
was in there, so it was kind of
fans,
funny. You see all the
frankly,
people with the dots on their
children.
faces.
It was,
or all
I
the
don't know what it is.
pre-rendered
It's like
stuff.
they let a class from the 4th grade and their parents.
Was it one
go
of
see-
those free screenings they passed out, like, because I used to get them all the time at my comic
Yeah.
shop, where they pass out the passes and it's first come, first serve?
Exactly. It was
Yeah.
one of those, but this was like all kids, and I couldn't believe it. And this movie is not for single-digit age kids. It's definitely, at least teenagers and above.
You know what is hilarious in San Francisco? It's
Oh,
the
the
same
Flash,
people
yeah.
went to those screenings all the time, and it was a bunch of old Chinese ladies.
Oh, my
It was,
God.
and they would go around because like you get the passes on, I think it was a Thursday, it was a Tuesday or a Thursday, and they would know, and
That
they would
is
go around
funny.
every shop and get the passes. And
But you know what? It's like you say free, I'm there.
dude,
Yeah.
it's a fact. Anybody who went to those screenings, if anybody who is in the chat from my comic shop days, you know who I'm talking about. There was the same 30 MFers in line.
I got
in the front of the
another
line
buff.
with their little
Yay.
folding chairs and their books for every movie, and it didn't matter what it was, and it was hilarious. I freaking loved it. Freaking San Francisco.
Oh, I'm going the wrong way.
But yeah, dude, we're gonna talk about the Flash in just a minute.
We have to.
We have to.
We have to.
We wave at him.
I have learned some things about this movie that I'm not going to tell you guys. I'm not going to tell you guys. Just not going to tell you guys.
Right there.
Okay.
Get my last point.
Ominous.
We'll see how
Then
long.
do I go
how
into
long that
Void
lasts. I'm
Walker
so
Well,
or
that's what she
Hellstone
said.
Gary, I'm
next? That's what I
going.
need to
This
look
is your
like
show,
on my
so I'm
thing.
taking your lead.
What I want to do.
So-
Okay. Well,
How far you want me to go?
Wrap
you
my
know,
cheeks.
I really feel I don't like Ezra Miller. Obviously, no secret. And this was before all the crimes he committed and got away with because he's part of the alphabet community. That other actors.
Yeah, that guy's not a
and
good person
people,
in real life.
just regular folks would.
Which is sad
currently
because
be
he's
in jail
not
for right
that
now.
bad of an actor,
As a
I
matter
think.
of fact, I did more time than he did for doing something less than he did.
But
I have a dog in this fight. But
breaking into somebody's
uh,
house, fighting with a
if
lady,
he truly has like gotten on the wagon, and
possibly
great. I want him
groomed
to be sober and
a
happy.
kid.
I don't care
It
how he
just
identifies. I just
not
think
good
he's
stuff.
a terrible Barry Allen. I think he's an awful Flash. I think they
Well-
muted him down in the Snyder Cut enough to where he was decent. And I agree with your take
I
on
thought
it.
he was
As a
kind of
side
okay until my
character,
brother
as
said,
comic
"Nah, the
relief,
Flash they had in the CW
lead
thing was
actor
way better."
with two
And then
of
I
them
saw some of those. I'm
sounds
like, "Yeah,
the
you're right.
ninth circle
That
of
guy
hell
in the
to me.
CW
But-
one was actually
but,
way better."
Yeah.
Which is
a
kinda
lot of
funny
people are
because
looking forward to this movie
CW
for one
shows
obvious reason. Michael
are really
Keaton
hit
Batman.
and
I'm the
miss.
same. I'm a fan. I want to see Michael Keaton Batman back so bad. I was so bummed when he dipped out of Batman Forever. I was totally bummed.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just well, it ended up being a wise move. But yeah, it's going to be cool to see him come back. And there's other things we've heard, scuttlebutt. Some are true, some aren't. That'll be cool to see. But I mean, ultimately, this is a lame
Scuttlebutt
duck
is
movie
triggering
still.
now after
my opinion.
hearing.
I kind of feel like it is
Aquafina's
because how does
rap.
this reset? Now, by the way, the screening I saw
For
was
that
the fan
in The
screening,
Little
which
Mermaid,
was a total
that was just like,
shit show.
why
I don't know who they were
did
giving
they
these
do
tickets
that?
out to, but we were told to wait in a line. My friend was the very first person at line.
It's like how
in
there's
line at 10
so
a.m.
many Taran
The only 6 of us
because
got
of
in.
War Stomp. Like
The first 6 got in.
in the
and
other
there were
game,
hundreds of people behind us.
in
I
classic
felt
and
terrible,
stuff,
and I'm
when I
like,
was a
how
Taran,
are there?
you know, I liked it, but a lot of
we're
people
the
make fun of,
first
oh,
in
you're the
line, there are
big
hundreds of
bulky
people.
guy and stuff, or
What
there are other
size
better
is the
racials.
screening? We walk in,
But no,
and
in
the screening
hardcore,
was
everybody
already
loves
full. We
Taran.
sat in the front row for an
Some
IMAX
sound
screen. It was fake IMAX, but whatever.
He made
Um,
the same mistake.
I couldn't believe it. So they really
Agility
screwed
and
this
stamina
up. It sounds like they were
is
giving
the ring.
preferential treatment to groups, and these were organized. Some were fan screenings, some were like, and I don't know. Like the thing is, this I feel like this is their strategy in promoting this because what are you gonna do?
Oh wait, is
Ezra
he the
Miller
guy
on
that
some
pats
press
around
tour?
with the 2 dudes
That's dangerous.
down
I've
there?
seen him speak out of turn in Hall H at San Diego Comic-Con. The guy's a freaking weirdo. I mean, he was dressed in a Princess Toadstool outfit talking about smashing the patriarchy on a Justice League panel. And everyone else
Yeah,
there,
that's
all
who
the
that
other
is.
actors, Ben Affleck.
Okay,
and
let's go to
they're all
Ratchet
just sort of
first.
like, well, that's Ezra. He's a weirdo. but you put him on a press tour, he's definitely going to say something stupid. So my feeling is, in lieu of a press tour, they're going hard into fans. Did you? I don't know. I don't know if you
between
are aware,
leveling
Gary, they
and
released a
getting the extra
third
stamina,
final trailer for
so
the
that
Flash
gives you, what,
yesterday,
15?
last night, after all the
So I'm at
fans.
506
and there's a
stamina.
QR code that's at
500
the end
health.
of
Yeah.
that. Which, of course, with anything, dude, I'm so obsessive with this stuff. I will collect UPC codes from.
I played 3
boxes of
hours, 18
Pop-Tarts
nights.
if
Yeah,
there's
because
some
of all the
exclusive.
delays.
I wouldn't.
That is
I wouldn't.
ridiculous.
I wouldn't even use the codes
Man,
on
I
the
really
comic
need
books
to-
that they were offering for the
If I
free
get back to
digital.
getting it, cutting it down to
Right.
an
Because I
hour.
wanted to keep my.
I know in
hated
later
those
levels you
Yeah,
literally
right.
do get to the
So
point
that-
to where, yeah,
What I'm
it's
saying is that I will redeem
3-4
offers on the backs
hours
of
and you
cereal
finally level,
boxes
but that's
or
kind of
Pop-Tarts, because
ridiculous
it's
at
the
this
thing is,
level.
people don't go through the effort, so when you get whatever the item is that's part of that promotion, you have a thing that's rare because people, it's not something you can buy in a store. Those
I've
like
played 16
redemption
hours so
kind
far,
of
huh?
things. So I actually all I did was register. It's
Time
part of
isn't
the
sped up.
DC
I remember it took,
community.
what,
I don't
9-10
know if this is
days
something
for the
new that they're
average
doing
person
to promote
to get,
DC
so
films, comics,
still around
whatever.
the
This is
same
like their
time, or is
fifth
it
attempt
slower?
at it, by the way.
with hardcore.
Yeah, like an attempt. Exactly.
also
Who
not
knows how long
boosting through
it'll last?
Yeah.
I was a paying member of StarWars.com back when it was a fan club. I don't know if you remember that, Gary. That was way back when.
Yeah,
This is like late
I
90s.
was too. I was also a member of the fan club when you mailed away to it.
Oh my God. Same
Got
here.
my
Bantha
tracks. Yeah,
Hell yeah.
and your little
Bantha
patches
tracks
and
for that.
stuff, and Kiss Army too. All right, and we'll
Not
get
the
to
Kiss
that.
Army.
We got to. I guess we got to introduce the lady.
Oh yeah. Sorry, we're still in introductions. Oh my God. I'm sorry, man.
It's
It's all good.
It's all good.
This is what happens
People?
normally.
Just talking,
People?
flapping their gums.
All I have to say is that I seen images of Ezra as a Flash. I think Grant Gustin's always going to be my Flash because
He just looks better.
he looks better. I mean, I just found this image.
Is that the
I
guy
am so sorry,
that
chat, but
played
I
in
feel
the
like I need to
CW
share
one?
this with y'all.
I don't remember their actors'
You're always
names.
saying be the change. So come on, man. Be the change.
Oh, look at my
Let's do this.
laziness with the commercials coming in.
That is an outfit. Well, for those who were like, what was I shocked with? It was this.
Can't imagine why the DCEU.
That's the outfit, dude. I was there. I was in Hall H when he wore that. And
He has a
look, I
dice on
actually
his
don't
head. He's wearing a
mind
vest,
Ezra
no
Miller
shirt,
as the
and it's all
Flash
pink
in the
with
Justice
stockings.
League because
what in the world?
not everybody can be like a
Alright.
mega Chad like Jason Momoa, Ben Affleck, and Henry Cavill. He kind of balances them out. He's fine in small doses. Like he's comic relief, small doses.
Side
fine.
character.
He fits as part of that.
Perpetual
if you're
side
casting
character.
the group of the Justice League, they all can't be the same. You know, they all can't be badasses, right? So
Hey, Morgan
he's not a
Freeman's the
badass.
ultimate
He's sort of a slightly
side
on
character.
the spectrum.
He's done well for
you
himself.
know, Gen Z, kid, right? And he works for that. But that was the outfit he was wearing. I was at that panel. It was just he would say something, you'd kind of roll your eyes like, who
I
is
could have
this guy?"
flown to right
Like,
here. I am so stupid.
Whatever.
Right.
I agree with your take, Gary. He's probably damaged from being in Hollywood and just having to do what it takes to be in Hollywood.
Yes, that would be my best guess. Would be that he knows where the bodies are buried. We'll just say will be nice since we're early in the stream,
Right.
and has been passed around quite a bit. And yeah, that could definitely damage somebody. But yeah, the Flash. I guess they put tickets on sale day before
Correct.
yesterday for a screening on the 12th. I got to it late. I have a terrible seat, but I'm going on the 12th to go see June 12th here in San Antonio.
What am I trying to
They
get?
had one screening,
Raptor
which is a miracle.
horns,
'Cause
root
usually they get
samples.
skipped. But yeah, I'm gonna go see it a little early, like 3 or 4 days early.
Talk to me.
And that's
Hurry
just, well, yeah, I want to see Michael Keaton Batman. But Chris, why don't you give us our again, chat? This will be
Where's the
a
wanted?
spoiler-free review of the Flash.
Okay. So so here we go. I'm gonna go up until we get to like, I'll tell you like some bullet point story stuff up until we get to like midpoint, or you know, not anything really from the third act, but you can see where things are going.
Yeah.
So it starts off with actually kind of a cool action scene involving the Justice League. Without Superman, by the way, he's off doing something else, so they need Barry's help, right? And it's actually a pretty funny scene. It's a pretty funny scene where basically, you know, Batman is chasing down some criminals, and the suit that he has on is literally the colors of the Frank Miller Dark Knight Returns Batman, the blue and gray. It's
So the one we seen in the trailer, right?
yeah, exactly. It's so cool. So he's off doing one task. Wonder Woman's off doing something else we don't know, and Barry has to deal with this hospital where a maternity ward, a bunch of babies have fallen out of windows. He's trying to save them all. It's actually a
bunch of
pretty,
quests.
Pretty funny scene.
South Sea
In any case,
Freebooters.
that's resolved.
Oh yeah,
You know,
those are the guys that are down south. So
the whole Justice
kill the
League
boss
action
and these
scene,
guys.
which I
Nice,
won't go into
nice.
too much detail, is
Do it
resolved.
all.
Welcome to Ratchet. Hope
Barry
you're looking for
reconnects
work.
with Bruce. He reconnects with an old friend
Hey, how
from
you
college,
doing?
and he's reminded of the loss of his mother. His father is about to. Some new possible evidence has been introduced, and his father may get released based on this evidence. And he's just lamenting the loss of his mom when he was a kid. I mean, it's a thing that's a scar. It's a thing that also connects him to Bruce Wayne because, you know, loss of family, loss of parents.
Let's do the
and
level
all of
18.
that. Barry suddenly discovers,
miners
he discovers during that
misfortune.
action scene, he can slightly go back in time. He figures this out. Could he use that to save his mom? Could he figure out exactly how to do that? And has a conversation with
I don't
Bruce,
think I'm gonna be doing
not
an
as
18 plus
Batman,
one anytime soon.
about the ethics of doing that, changing time. What would that entail?
Hey, how you
What are
doing?
the dangers,
Keep
etc.
it real.
Well, of course, stupidly, he decides to do it, and sees his mom and his dad, and everything's okay. I don't want to go into too much detail, but basically, he ends up
So
running
there's the
into
whole
he sees
thing
a
where I
version
go
of
all
himself
the way
that's
down
younger
here
than him
and up.
before he
There's
got his powers.
another
About 18 years old. I would say Barry's like
flight
25.
path there, yeah, because Barron's is massive.
And this is a younger, dumber, stupider. He's like a younger brother.
Let's
So
go
the
this
first
way.
half of the movie
We'll clear
is
these
him
out.
kind of figuring all that out. He's got a version of Barry that has no
We
powers.
can do a bunch of
He's
this,
an
and then we
idiot.
can
It's
fly
very
back
much
up
like
to
Back
here,
to the Future too. In fact,
and then
there's
maybe
like
try
a,
to finish some
Back
of
to the
this.
Future reference, because in this multiverse, this universe, Eric Stoltz starred in Back to the Future. In fact, one of Barry's roommates has an Eric Stoltz Back to the Future tattoo on his leg, which it's pretty funny. It's pretty funny. I will say the movie is very
Eric Stoltz
cleverly
is, in back,
written.
is the main guy. in
Here's
Back
the
to the
issue.
Future.
And is that Ezra Miller's not a leading man. He's not a leading man. Ben Affleck, leading man. Henry Cavill, leading man. Jason Momoa, depending. I think Jason Momoa was really good in Fast X. I think he's a great Joker
Really?
type villain.
I was a little
Ezra
worried
Miller's not a
because at
leading
first
man.
I
You've
didn't
got Ezra
feel
Miller,
like
which is
he
already
fit.
kind of
That's interesting.
annoying. And you've got a more
definitely
annoying
wanna see the
version of
conclusion.
him
I've certainly
that's
seen them all.
younger, stupider,
They're
more
just good, dumb, fun
impulsive,
movies.
doesn't understand
Family.
how the Flash powers work. So it's like at the very beginning, you kind of get to see like Barry is re-experiencing his origin through a younger version of him.
Okay, got you.
Come to find out, there's a crisis. Zod appears
Crisis
in
on
this
Infinite Earths.
version of Earth because he's not only gone to a different multiverse, he's gone further back in time in this particular version of Earth. Zod appears, and Barry's first thought is like, we got to find the Justice League. There is no Justice League in
So I
this
need
universe.
cannoneers and
So they go looking for like, where's
brigands.
Superman? Where's Wonder Woman? They're searching. They do find a Bruce Wayne, and they do
Who's
go to Wayne
cousin?
Manor. And this is when the movie. This is an hour into the film, by the way.
And this
An
is all
hour in.
pretty much in the trailer. So
Yeah, this is all pretty much in the trailer. But I'll just say this: I'm like cringing. Like, oh, some of these jokes don't land. Two Ezra Millers are just kind of annoying. He even does some things in it. You thought he was like when he goes to visit his mom, he doesn't have like he's in his Flash costume. He doesn't have clothes, so he has to he steals some clothes from an old lady. So he's wearing like a woman's top. It's very much what a they them would wear. Exactly. And then there's even another scene where the other version of Barry is completely naked, and not just for a little bit of time, like a lot. He's naked a lot. You see his butt very clear. The only thing you see are the you don't see the twigs and berries, as Alan said on our stream, so to speak. There's like, and I'm sitting here in a room with like 7-year-olds watching this film, thinking this is kind of inappropriate. Like the amount of nudity. One quick thing, like a copper tone
Maybe not for
ad,
Hollywood.
and I'm like, this is going on. Like this amount of nudity is just a little too much.
Far away.
So now it's all played like innocent and goofy and fun or whatever, but it's just a little like, I just say it's alarming. It's alarming.
Too much cheek action.
Too much cheek action.
Yep.
So I will say this, that the
They're not
director
trying to normalize it, are they?
definitely is not a hot phobe. I mean, there's a like in the Justice League action opening scene,
Not a hot
you
phobe.
see a very clear shot. It might have been because I was in the front row in IMAX, of Wonder Woman's ass. Like basically her mini skirt kind of flips up, and it's like, did we just see like Wonder Woman's ass? And he lingers a little too long on Supergirl's ass too. No complaints, by the way. No complaints, but it's just nice to see it. It seems like there's an effort to desexualize. Look at Guardians 3, desexualize women in entertainment and just not allow them to be sexual or even just attractive in a female sense. And damn, Wonder Woman, Gal Gadot looks smoking hot. Supergirl, very feminine version of Supergirl. She may not have the skirt, but she has the ass. I'll just say that. So they go to Wayne Manor, and there is basically a recluse Bruce Wayne, older, I would say, like very much like Bruce Wayne from the beginning of the Dark Knight Returns comic. Gray, long, like you don't recognize him. He's a hermit, effectively. But what was really cool, there's an action scene when you meet Bruce Wayne that's in the kitchen. They recreated the kitchen from Batman '89.
That's awesome.
Remember the scene with Vicky Vale, Alfred, and they're in the kitchen. It's that kitchen. Like, now only as a nerd, I think you'll recognize it. But I'm like, holy shit!
Yeah, I
it's
guess I
exactly
probably wouldn't.
The kitchen. I know, stupid details, but that's what a big fan. It's
An
really the
appreciative
director,
detail
I think,
to
did
those who want
a
it.
lot with what he had, and I think the script is very clever. So they need to convince Bruce
So the
Wayne
first
of the
half is
threat of who
cringe,
this
but you
guy
say the
Zod is.
second half
They have to
is
find
pretty cool.
Superman, and they go. This is all Flashpoint stuff. They go to get Superman is like in this
What was that?
compound with the Russians. So they go there,
Attack
except it's
power.
not Superman, it's Supergirl. They
Not
break her
spell
out,
power?
and then it's sort of a half-assed version of the Justice League
Oh man, that guy's
versus
going right
Zod,
for him.
and he is undefeatable. And that's all. And it gets from the first half of the movie is just like, it feels more like a comedy more than anything. The first half is a comedy, and if you're not an Ezra Miller fan, it's going to be hard to.
It sounds very. It sounds very No Way Home to me. Like they spend
It is.
an hour getting to what people really want to see.
Right.
No Way Home stuck the landing, had a very satisfying ending. Flipped some stuff that even one thing I wasn't happy with, but for the most part, really good fun movie at the end. It sounds like they've reshot this a bunch. By the way, this is
Right.
according to people, not one person. We're gonna say two people who worked directly with Warner Brothers. We'll just say in this realm of superheroes. This is the most expensive movie ever made. Now, I did not get the distinction of by Warner Brothers or in the history of Hollywood. Your guess is as good as mine. I mean, realistically, we'll probably just say Warner Brothers, which would still be pretty impressive. There's a reported budget, but that's not it. So I was told by these two people that it needs to make $1 billion to turn a profit,
Whoa.
which it could do, but
Here's the
still,
deal. Here's
like you spend so much money on a movie to make $1 billion. That's supposed to like carry your studio for a long time, and now it's just going to be like, oh, we paid catering, and we paid everybody off, and we've got $5. We can buy a bag of chips.
Michael Keaton in this movie is fucking amazing. My face hurt from smiling. He's so good. It's the Batman we wanted him to be. I mean, obviously they were technologically, restrained in '89 and '92. But man, the stuntman they got to play him, because obviously it's not Michael Keaton. He's a much older dude. But damn, he's in the suit. He's a badass.
So we get to see him fighting. I mean, that would be. That's why I like Batman Returns more than Batman, because he fights in that movie.
He fights a lot in this, and he's got the gear, and also he's a confident he's full Batman, right? And he's having to deal with effectively 2 dipshit Robins, effectively, right? And so there's some comic relief.
So would
from
you
that
say it
as
turns?
well.
Does it truly turn into a Batman movie when he shows
Oh,
up?
is that what that quest is?
Because I don't really
Oh,
care
free him?
about anyone
Gotcha.
other than Batman at that point. So for me, it is. Yeah.
But does
I mean,
the
like,
film
it's
still
fine, like,
focus on
Oh,
flashes?
that's where
or
Baron
whatever they
Longshore
are, or
is?
berries.
Flash and stuff. There's such
Dang
a
it.
good. I don't want to ruin the joke, but I'm dying to. There's a really amazing joke about the first Batman costume. You know how like the neck, Michael Keaton couldn't turn the neck. There is a hilarious joke about that. That's in there. That obviously the director is a huge like knows his DC movies and knows his DC lore. So there's so much in this to love, but it's getting to the second half of the movie. But yeah, it's not a Batman movie per se. It's more of a Justice. It's like a team up movie. But Batman dominates because he's the leader. You know, he's the smart one. Barry knows stuff that Batman doesn't know just because he experienced the world surviving Zod. And they're just, they don't have a Superman. They don't have a Superman. They have a Supergirl, but Supergirl is not Zod. That's all I'll say.
Yeah. Okay. Without saying too much, I heard
Zod
somebody
was
say
bred
this.
to be
I've heard a
a
couple
warrior.
people say this. All right, public. So,
He's absorbing all
it's
of
not gonna be a
Earth's
specific
energy
spoiler, but
over
it's gonna
years
be-
with
you
his
might look at Man of Steel. if you
combat
were critical
prowess
of Man
and
of
knowledge.
Steel, you
Yeah, I
might
bet
look
he
at it
would
a
be
little
unbeatable.
differently
Yes, because I man, I don't want to.
after this. So we'll just leave it at that. We'll leave it at that.
Yeah, we talked before the stream, and I do think this movie will be divisive,
Oh, sure.
super divisive, because just because of the first half just being like Ezra Miller just once you get to that second half, it becomes the
Well,
movie
yeah, like
that I wanted.
Tom Holland and Zendaya fake MJ were not my favorite things from Spider-Man, believe it or not.
Right.
Okay. But they're not anywhere near as annoying as Ezra. I mean, it all depends on the writing too. But like Tom Holland and Zendaya were better in No Way Home than they were in any previous Spider-Man movie by far. But still, the first third of No Way Home kind of drags.
It
These
does.
guys, I swear,
You're
are
not
on like
wrong, Garrett.
8-minute
It's, I
timers.
would agree 100%. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of Zendaya. I don't know why people like her. I mean,
I don't either. Yeah, but she looks like a 12-year-old kid.
yeah, she's
That's a little weird
not,
to me.
That's why I'm worried about Dune 2 Part 2, because
his
she
50-year-old
plays
brain
her
and eyes.
character, Chani plays a big part.
Huge
She's
part,
cute, but
yes.
yeah, even she's
I
a
don't know
bit
if she has the
on the
acting.
young
Well,
side
I know that
for
from
me.
the David Lynch Dune, not from the book. Okay, so
Yeah. Well, I know it from the book, but I mean, if they intend to have her have a big role, I just don't think she has the acting chops. Timothy Chalamet, he can act. I mean, I've seen him he was in this like a movie where he played a drug addict. Was an Amazon film from years ago. I can't remember the name. But it was based on a true story. He was very good in that as a drug addict. He was fucking awesome. Timothy Chalamet can legit act. Zendaya, haven't seen it. But boy, that second half of the movie, once it gets to that second half, it is just
Timothy Chalamet, straight Ezra Miller.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's true. He has dated women.
Yes.
But what's weird is technically
That's all he is.
Technically speaking, you can refer to the two berries as they.
I know.
That,
Oh God. That's not
can you
going to help.
imagine if they did a press tour with Ezra Miller, knowing what we know now, what this movie is, knowing that Ezra Miller probably doesn't give a fuck. And
Well,
it's probably not
they
gonna look
haven't.
much after this.
I mean, the movie comes out. It's not that far off.
It's
right?
3 weeks.
It's
I
3
think,
weeks, and they have not done a press tour that I know of. Correct me if I'm wrong, chat.
I don't know.
Have
they
they
haven't done one that
interviewed
I'm aware of.
Ezra Miller? I would just roll out Michael Keaton for every. I mean, like if I was the PR for Warner Brothers, it'd be just Michael Keaton. That's all. That's all you need.
Because they're trying to salvage.
Maybe the
movie.
director. The director
Yeah.
and Michael Keaton.
Michael Keaton is so good. You're reminded why he was like so good in that role. He just freaking nails it, and it's a broken.
It's my defense.
It's Batman.
Oh,
Yeah,
God.
I
that-
need to get that up to 90.
But a Batman that's like once he puts this, he's freaking full Batman.
That's awesome.
It's and it's implied that things have occurred between the time we last saw him and where we are, because there's no Alfred. There's no Alfred.
Well, yeah.
Um,
He was pretty old.
yeah. That's all I'll say.
Okay.
And-
Okay. Yeah. We should do that.
Anything else you want to know, I'll answer the question. But the second half of the movie is going to.
You said the second half gets much better. Like it just moves better and it becomes like a real superhero. You also said that this is the most, and this is not a compliment, buddy. You said it's the most Marvel of DC movies.
Yeah, it is. It is the most Marvel of DC movies. No, but when Marvel was good.
Okay.
I'm not talking about recent Marvel. Recent Marvel. Talking about, like,
You need to make that distinction now, buddy. Because like,
Oh, that's true.
If you look at the amount of content that we've gotten from Disney, Marvel, including Paramount, I haven't counted yet, but I'm pretty sure they've surpassed the amount of stuff that they've made, counting movies and TV shows, in Phase 4 and the beginning of Phase 5 than they did in the first 3 phases. Again, I could be wrong, but they have to get real close because they weren't making that much. They were making 3 movies a year at the max, mostly
Right.
2 before that. And they just pumped out in 1 year like 17 projects.
Oh, come on.
So they have to be getting close. We'll just say they're getting close. Maybe it's 1 or 2 off, but you have to make that distinction now. Is it pre-Endgame or post-Endgame?
Right. Well, it's pre-Endgame, but it's also a good mix of comedy, drama, stakes, real stakes. And I think after this, DC will
What
not
type of stakes?
revisit
USD
multiverse
choice?
stories.
Top
It,
certified?
multiverse and time travel f's things up, because what you can do is you can just fix any problem, and this movie really like leans right into that of like in terms of like I don't think the future DC films and the DC universe will deal with
on.
any time travel
this guy?
or multiverse stories at all. We're gonna land in a particular universe, and
Should be any minute now.
Stay
that's
there.
where we are. Yeah.
Stay there, and it can also just explain everything else. So to say that, that's what they did in the comics. They wanted to reset everything, but they wanted to try to go, well, the stuff you read still counted. Okay, it just we're moving to a different universe. Problem is, it didn't work for everybody. But I'll say Crisis on Infinite Earths in the 80s worked for me for a lot of reasons. I think they kind of needed to do it. But it also led to like horrible things later when they started resetting the universe over and over again. And that's the trap you get into with this. And that's why I agree. They should just... Well, the thing is, here's the problem though. They still got the Matt Reeves Batman, which is in another world. So those, as long as they never meet, that's fine. But I think they gave Matt Reeves one more movie just to save face. That's what I think. Like the movie did good enough to earn a sequel. Definitely did good enough to earn a sequel, but it didn't like light the world on fire. So it's like, let's give them another movie and move on.
What are they picking up right there?
Yeah, it's. Here's the problem though. Okay, so the screening that I saw the end of the film, the climax, everything resolved. Barry is back in his universe. Should I continue with this? What we talked about?
I have a feeling I'm gonna go in
I mean,
here,
'cause you
so I
didn't-
won't worry about trying to
you
pick up
didn't see
that
anything,
quest
so you can't
quite
spoil
yet.
anything.
Yes, exactly.
Yes, they cut off.
Yeah, these
go on.
guys are all level 15.
So
They're more Marines.
Barry is back. Everything's back to quote normal.
Yeah, so
normal.
I'm sure I'll
He
need to
gets a
clear
call
these
from
guys
Bruce
out. I'll worry
Wayne.
about
He's going to meet Barry.
if I even care to do that escort
A
quest.
car rolls up. Bruce Wayne is about to come out of the car. You see a foot. The lights come on in the movie theater.
They ended the movie, which I think is really smart on their part, to be honest with you.
People don't leak it.
No
Yeah.
credits. It just the lights came on and we're like, wait, what? So
Switch to
there's,
me? Really?
That's happened
I don't know
before.
what happens. It could put anyone in there. It could be Christian Bale. It could be anybody. So
If it was Christian Bale, that would be pretty fucking cool. I admit that would be. Honestly, I'd be happy. I mean, Ben Affleck would be kind of the obvious choice, but I guess it could be Adam. It could be freaking anybody. It could be any Batman whatsoever.
Adam
it could
West.
be anybody. So,
but is this and then
is it going to be the new Batman? That's the question. No, it's not. I
That's the
don't
thing.
think so.
That's the thing. It could be whoever the new Batman that's being cast in Brave and the Bold, the James Gunn produced film as part of the new DC universe. I don't know. So we didn't see it, and then is there going to be a mid-credit scene, a post-credit scene? Obviously there's a lot they can do in that chunk. And I mean, look, there's 3
Thunder
weeks
Lizard Horn.
until this movie
Okay.
opens. They shot a scene for the Avengers a week, like after the world premiere, and before it opened in theaters. They shot an additional scene that they just added a week before the movie. So it is entirely possible they could be in the casting phase for a new Batman, and this could be whoever the new Batman is in the DC universe.
And all the
right?
Superman casting rumors is obfuscating all the Batman. Like, that'd be funny. That'd be pretty funny if they did that.
It would be weird, but what I'm telling you is I can't answer this question because I didn't see it. So I'm going to guess that the version of the movie that you see on the 12th, Gary, you'll know the answers to those questions.
Yep.
I don't know
The
why
12th,
they
so
would
that's
show an
still a few
incomplete
weeks
version of
away.
you. I get that it's like 3 weeks before the movie they're going to show an incomplete. The one thing that did strike me, and I saw it with my friend who saw the test screening over a year ago, he said the digital
No, it's
effects
still
in
orange.
this have not been upgraded from the test screening that he saw,
Oh.
and they're not great.
Now, did
By not
the
great-
director come out
Is
and
Root
say,
Sample
because
Quest
you
4
said the director was
herbalism?
at the screening,
He
correct?
did.
Okay, so
No,
did he come out and
he's
say
not-
these are unfinished?
He was not at the screening, but they showed a video of
Oh,
him with
okay,
his
gotcha.
sister, who's the producer, and she said, or that he said that like these, the movie's not finished, the effects aren't finished, so it is possible
Okay.
that there'll be improved effects. But yeah, like there are a couple scenes where you're just like,
They looked really
borderline.
rubbery in the trailer. Like, they look like Gumbies fighting each other. So that's going to be, I hope, they got to fix that.
But I don't know. I feel like almost like Hollywood doesn't care. It's like, wait, more money to make it look better? Why does that matter? So, but I will say this. At the end of the day, my final takeaway of this thing is I want to see it again. I was there you go. I got news for you. It's very entertaining. Once you get past the first hour, like it's like that, like you pointed out with No Way Home, like the first chunk of that movie is let's get to the good part, and then once it gets to the good, then it's up, and that's the same thing here. And it doesn't. It ends in a way that you could look at. You could look at the ending of this movie as being very dark and depressing. So that's why I think that I've seen some other people talk about it.
Some of the
and
stuff
yeah,
that
I
I'd
can
heard
see-
about
I can see people
with
having two
the,
takeaways. I do think that new
the
ending,
animated movies,
whatever
some
the
were
ending
great,
they put on
but
it is gonna.
with like the Dark
that's gonna
Justice
probably
League
change people's
part,
perception, but I didn't see it. So
with
Yeah.
superheroes getting ripped apart,
Yeah.
screaming bloody murder and all that stuff is just like why would they
There's-
do that?
Yeah, I can't say. I don't want to say anything.
There are dark
Well,
comics,
ask me-
but a
ask
lot of
me
these ones
anything.
based
I mean,
around the
you know,
Justice League and all
Well,
that,
they need to fix.
especially if
I
you
mean,
grew up
like,
in the '90s, they weren't
Yeah, my question.
like that. You know, it was more for kids. It was a bit more tame, and in a lot of ways, I kind of like those
correct.
characters like that.
does the universe
even when they do have
that Barry
struggles.
Allen lands in, is it the universe that James Gunn is
Okay.
going forward?
James
That I don't know.
did. Does anybody have a quote where James Gunn said this resets the universe? I think that was a lot of assumptions from a lot
Right.
of people, and it would have been a good assumption. It would have been a great opportunity, except there's a movie that comes out after this, Aquaman.
Yeah, Aquaman too.
So I think that kind of ruins it. I think if they had released Aquaman first, and then Flash, which is essentially their really
Oh, I can
cheapo version
actually
of
do Major Oil
Flashpoint,
now.
last, that would have made sense. But the fact that we're getting an Aquaman movie after this, and they had every opportunity to get rid of Amber Turd, and they didn't.
That's kind of crazy that the
I
Aquaman
think
movie still
kinda
hasn't
says
come
it
out
all.
yet.
I don't know anything about that though, because I heard one version of the ending, but they could. I think they've probably changed that. That would be my guess. That would be my guess because I can't say anything else. Let's just say. Should I say? I heard. Fuck it. I'll say
There
it.
we
This is
go,
my
the
fault, by the
defense
way.
is up.
I heard one version of the ending. I heard one version, not telling you who shows up at the end, but there's a movie that got canceled. There's a movie that got canceled outright that we all know also had Michael Keaton in it, called Batgirl. So I think they've changed things. That would be my guess.
Oh, right.
That would be my guess.
Wow.
But they've reshot this movie a bunch. Like a bunch. That's why it is so expensive. But hey, it can make $1 billion and make Warner Brothers $10. And good. I don't think it's got 2 weeks, right? It comes out on the 16th, right? Let's get the date right. So it comes out on. There's a screening on the 12th, which are probably it's an IMAX screening that's sold out probably everywhere now. Go check in your area. I took a shitty IMAX seat just to see it. Like I'll have neck problems when I'm done. It comes out on the 15th or 14th. I think there's screenings on the 14th
Old man.
or 15th, something like that. And then Indiana Jones flops 2 weeks after that. I'm sorry, releases.
Like that,
And that
Indiana
will be
Jones movie,
like serious competition.
even from all the people
Would it
that
hurt it?
normally come in and sing
Would it
Disney's
keep it from
praises
making $1
or
billion?
Hollywood's
Time
praises.
will tell.
They're like,
I'm not really
"Ugh."
sure. I think nostalgia for Michael Keaton's Batman, I can't believe I'm saying this, far outshines nostalgia for Harrison Ford at 80 returning to Indiana Jones, which is, good God,
Been in too many things recently.
it's unbelievable to say. Unbelievable to say.
There
But
we go.
They had a
That's
movie
up
come
one
out at
more
the same
point.
time a long time ago. They
Get
did.
it up to 90, and
Right?
then we
89
stop
Batman
from there.
and
Move a
Last
bit
Crusade
quicker.
was 89.
Yeah, I'm telling you, Michael Keaton is Batman in this. You just,
My
I want to
goal
go
thing
see it
is
again
just always
just
be
for
just
that.
5 behind.
And I might go see it a third time, but I would walk in an hour late.
But you're
Because-
definitely going to see it a second time.
Skip the first
Now-
part.
100%. Well, I need to see it because I don't know what happens at the. I
Okay,
don't know,
if you knew what happened at the end, let's just say it was satisfying. Would you go see it again?
actually, I would because it's entertaining, and it's God, I kind of don't want to say. I want to say and I don't want to say. We kind of talked about earlier. Let's just say outcomes for certain multiverse Earths. Some are good and some are not. And you know,
Oh,
And
what we could say, without being specific,
yes.
lots of cameos.
Oh, a lot. Like there are a lot. You know when there were like
Ah.
rumored cameos for Multiverse of Madness?
Yep.
And then there was
Yeah, I'd heard
zero?
there was some
Like,
crazy
you have
amount.
Tom Cruise's Iron Man. Yeah, this one goes nuts. It's the thing you can just, dude, I'm freaking out at like. I don't want to. I'm not going to say any specific cameos. All I'll just say is, you are going to have a DC boner when you. When you're watching this, because it was worth it to say that just for the look on X-Men's face. If you're just a DC fan of TV and movies in the DC realm, you're gonna go freaking nuts. Movies from DC that were never even made. I'm just telling you, be prepared. And you're
So
gonna.
that's how they get their little shot of it.
IMAX, I was in the first row. I literally was just looking across the screen because there
Am I gonna
are a
see
couple scenes
Nicolas
where just
Cage?
So much is happening on screen at once. You
I
cannot.
don't know. Does anyone
slow.
remember that
Like,
3D
people have a field
anybody
day when
seeing
this
as
comes out
Nicolas
on
Cage as
Disney or
Superman? Am I gonna
Blu-ray,
see him
because
in
you're
there?
You're gonna have to like freeze frame to catch it all. It's freaking great. I mean, a lot of it is focused on, so you see like the big ones, but I know that I missed a few. I'm 100% certain I missed a few because so much is happening at once. In sort of a multiverse where there's like a multiverse. It's represented by like kind of like crystal balls in a way. I guess the best way to describe it, like crystal balls with like a lot of shit. It's like those are multiverses. And holy shit, Gary. It's awesome. It's just awesome.
Got some
Oh,
deep.
Right,
plenty
88.
of opportunities to go to the bathroom in the first hour, but don't hit the bathroom in the last hour 20.
Oh,
That's
okay.
it. So,
There you go.
Okay, plan your bathroom breaks. Got it.
and yeah, well, I
got
always have
that
to think
one.
about that
Me
with
too.
myself, but
These ones
yeah,
are all
I am
rappers,
highly
okay?
trained. I do not go to the bathroom in the middle of movies anymore. I used to be a delivery driver, and I'd be stuck in traffic.
Kind of
and
do
you just
sometimes
gotta-
because
it's
we'll go
mind
to
over
dinner.
matter
I'll
on
drink
that
way too
one.
much tea, like 3-4 glasses of tea.
I have a
and then
bladder of
good to
a
go.
pregnant woman.
Which is- I tell you, that's not good. I took a
That's
road
disgusting.
trip with a pregnant woman once. We were stopping every freaking 20 minutes, dude.
Dude,
It took us 12
that's-
hours
yeah.
to take like a 7-hour drive.
That's how I found out I had one kidney. When my then wife was pregnant. I peed more than she did, and then I got an ultrasound, and it's like I have one kidney.
What did
Oh.
someone
What?
steal one from you before you were born?
You're just
Yeah,
born
that's-
with one kidney.
Now, the guy who did the ultrasound made a joke like that, but he asked me if I'd ever been to Mexico, and I told him no. It's funny, but yeah. So people look. If you sort of, the movie is fun in the way that No Way Home is fun. It definitely has that, but it's the second half of the movie that is where that fun is.
Okay, any woke BS? Girl boss, intersectional feminism?
Nah, none of that. Even like Supergirl, you think she's coming in as a girl boss. No, Zod is a threat. I'll just say this: Zod is yeah, it's nothing.
Well,
Like
Zod
nothing
is
about it
supposed to
really-
be a threat. Zod is a Kryptonian who, unlike Superman when he arrived on Earth, knows how to fight. He's a warrior. He is a general. Like he's
Yeah.
badass, you know. So
Yeah.
in
So,
in the
it's
realm
first
of
one.
the DCEU and DC movies. Okay.
but I know these days people tend to be. I think people are maybe a little oversensitive, and with good reason, because so much stuff is garbage. I mean, that
What's
Indiana Jones
this?
movie looks like horrible, even worse than
Oh,
we
that's the
originally thought.
the elite
You know,
Thunder
the
dude.
fact
I
that
think.
like Indiana Jones is so emasculated.
I may need to be
by
careful. I
freaking
don't know if
annoying.
Dude, when
Waller-Bridge
corporate
is-
critics are coming out and saying he is emasculated in his own movie, they're like, whoa, it must be horribly bad.
Yeah.
And Phoebe Waller-Bridge is a critical darling. They fucking love her. They love Fleabag, which I've noticed. I don't know what the appeal is of that woman. I don't know. I agree with was it Az or Critical Drinker? Sorry, Critical Drinker. It's like I don't know what the appeal is. That I think you just try to export your worst UK. I'm starting to catch on to you. With James
I'm
James
gonna
Corden,
go here
Phoebe Waller-Bridge.
first.
I'm seeing a pattern here. Okay.
Sell my stuff off.
F you. Sorry, we kicked your ass. Kicked your ass out, and now they're getting their revenge. and
No,
it's
it was
working.
probably because of Meghan Markle. She moved there, and then they're like, "Please take
She's
us for a
Canadian.
trip."
She's Canadian, so that's the whole War of 1812. You guys got to work that stuff about amongst yourselves, but right? Isn't Meghan Markle Canadian?
No,
She-
she's American.
She is.
American, but I think she was here for.
I ain't claiming her. She's Canadian in my head canon.
Yeah.
Britain's whole is Canada.
Yeah, but I can't wait. To me, FNT after the Flash is going to be epic. It'll be a very special
I'm actually
FNT.
gonna have to go see
50.
it before
Then let's go
FNT
50.
comes out that
Let's
day.
go, Brandon. He says, I need a favor. Everyone look up the Lincoln Kane live stream and just hit the like button. Don't leave here, but pop in the new tab. And this man is going to even be more hammered, which will be fun.
Is he
Okay.
drinking like a drink
So
every
you
time
want
he
somebody
gets
to
a
like another live stream? Thanks for the $50. I love the chat.
Oh my
They're
god.
like,
I'll give it a
they're
like.
watching 3 live streams at once. It's like,
Oh,
I do that shit all the time.
Nice, bro, by me.
I was watching my wife. I was watching
wouldn't
Skinwalker
look into it
Ranch
tonight,
and Tuesday night's main event at the same time, and yes, I can do it.
Oh, dude, I've done that. I've had like 2 live streams open.
I had a live stream on my phone, and I'm watching the TV show, and I just kind of pop back and forth. Once they start
Weapons of
talking about
choice.
Super
get a
Mario.
good weapon
Hey,
at
if you love it,
24?
that's great. I went to Skinwalker
Or is
Ranch.
that more of
When they started talking about other stuff, I went
melee-
back to when
Blacksmith
Skinwalker
probably
Ranch started
melee
talking
shit.
about purple lights. I went back to Tuesday night's main event. It was
Oh.
fine. I can do it.
Oh my God, I'm looking at this guy. He's drinking.
Interesting.
He's drinking a beer and has a bottle of Bailey's, and it looks like some French fries.
So every like he takes a shot or something like that?
And he's smoking. Oh my God, he's filled in a room of monitors. I have no idea who this guy is. I will check out that
A
stream
man of
later.
What
sin.
brings you here?
Well, there'll always be a seat waiting for him at an AA meeting near him.
Yes.
If you want to promote that, that's fine. That's fine. All right, let's go, Brandon. Thank you for the $50. We appreciate it, brother. All right, so you're going to give, are you recommending
Wind
The Flash?
your back.
Yes. Knowing that the first hour is going to be
Slave's
You
favorite
get-
prey
once you
is
get to
ever
Batman,
the
it's a
bring its
movie.
carcass to the dead
Before that,
trees northwest of Ratchet.
Ezra Miller, and then there's a lot of other nitpicks. Like the woman who plays his mom, I don't know if she's Italian or Spanish, but she's not. She has a very thick accent.
I saw
What brings
Alan
you
giving you a
into-
crap about this, but like, does Ezra Miller
just
look
weird.
Italian to you?
No, but what I'm saying is, so she's like making, there's a big, okay, this is like a plot point of getting tomato paste and tomatoes is like a big part of the movie. It's from the beginning and to the end, and I don't want to go into it. It's too long to, just watch it. But like, there's a whole thing about a tomato paste can from the grocery store, and it's a huge deal. And so I just assumed she was Italian because she had this thick accent, and she's making a spaghetti.
Oh,
with
is that
the
one because he had to
pasta.
go there
It's just like-
because
it's
when he
just
comes
like
back,
so-
What
his
you talking
mother's
about? The Betty,
been
come
killed.
over there, get some lunch.
And I always like whenever I look at like castings like that don't seem to make sense. I'm like, oh, that's the executive producer's girlfriend. Like this happens so often in movies, you would be shocked how often it's.
You mean like
well,
Jimmy
that's
Kimmel's
girlfriend of-
nephew ending up in Mandalorian?
Yeah, exactly. Like it's just or Jimmy Kimmel's son or whatever. It's just like, oh, it's a favor casting. Favor casting. Screw like or like so and so playing a stormtrooper. in
Neil
Star
Gaiman.
Wars or-
Neil Gaiman just did that with Good Omens. Did you hear? He had to
Oh really?
Yeah, Peter Davison and then David Tennant's son were both cast in. That's the Fifth Doctor, by the way. And
Yes.
David Tennant's married to his daughter in real life. That's a cat. I don't have a problem with that cat.
Out of range.
But yeah, you're right. And they recast Dad, right?
Enrique's dad is fine, you know.
Isn't it the guy from Office Space?
Yeah, it's got from Office Space. The lead from Office Space.
One of the
I
greatest
love that guy's great.
One of the greatest
Office
movies
shit.
ever made. One of the greatest movies ever made.
So good and holds up now. Holds up even better now.
So we got some questions. How much of this film is held up by Michael Keaton's charisma acting? Is it worth watching to see his performance or nostalgic bait from Jamie G. Voltaic Blood for $5. That's a very good question, Chris. I think you kind of addressed it. But...
Yeah, it's Michael Keaton just goes for it. He's just great. Like he's just full 89 Batman. Like, and now using today's technology, you've got much better fight choreography. The way that like his cape is this, like an instant glider. He's got like, you see like, the old Batmobile, the Batplane. Oh God, it's really good. I can't wait to see it again. I just want to see that last hour and 20 minutes again. It's no,
I'm a bit farther away than I was
I
expecting.
can't wait.
You didn't get tickets for the 12th? I'm sure you can.
No, I tried 100% sold out.
Well, LA.
Not like-
Yeah, that's,
Right. 100. Now I might try to get tickets day of because sometimes people cancel their tickets, but I think it'll be impossible to get tickets to that. But my God, that's why I think this movie's gonna do so well. It's got that Spider-Man No Way Home energy, right? Like,
well, dude, it's
like,
it sold out like giant IMAX theaters in hours for that special preview, and then you can go take a look at the tickets that they're on pre-sale already,
And he
they're
said
filling up pretty much.
Well, there's
Is
that
it up
third
by
trailer.
Ratchet?
I don't know if there's that much new in the trailer. I don't think there's that much, except for like this QR code that they want you to like. Basically, it's just data collection, which I'm like, whatever. Collect my data.
Slay's favorite
Yeah.
prey is
What do you-
ever
and
than
Warner
bringing its
Brothers is
carcass
still,
to the
like,
dead
lame about
tree
trailers.
northwest of Ratchet.
Show 'em and, I feel like giving them any money today.
Okay, so Ratchet,
but
so
especially
northwest,
after their
so
bold move of turning HBO into Max, which is just stupid. So
Didn't
dumb.
it crash on day? I haven't even checked it out
did.
yet.
It
but I
crashed
feel
on
like
day
the
one.
interface-
It's fine now. It's
Wait,
fine.
I picked one up.
Yeah, and all it
Yeah, no,
is
it's right
like
there.
merging Discovery Plus into HBO, which they should have just called HBO. But the Discovery Plus stuff like does really well. It just does.
So all the
Well, if
garbage
it's
I would never
northwest of
watch on
Ratchet,
Discovery is there.
I'll
That
only
sounds great.
have
That's what I heard. Yeah,
28
I don't care about
minutes.
anything that Discovery has. So
I don't even.
Okay, then
but
yeah, let's
people
fly to
watch the shit
Ratchet,
out
I
of it.
guess.
They do, and it's really cheap to make, especially during a writer's
Is
strike.
it Camp Tarajo or Camp Tarayo?
Doctor Who 32 for $30 says it's time for a nooner. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Very excited about this. Sorry we had to start it a little early today. I've got a super secret project.
I feel like it stayed in
gets
the Baron,
started
so your
today.
mid-20s almost.
That's the reason it's
At least your early
starting early.
20s, 22.
That's all I'm going to say.
Goodbye.
Probably the only time I'll even
Fly
talk about
past
it.
it.
Super secret project starts today. It's going to be a process. It's going to take about, what, a year, you think, Chris?
at least I'll say this: I know what the project is. You shouldn't
Well, I have
tell
to decide if I
anyone
want to
about
spend
it
money on
until
that
it's
Flash
done
movie.
and you have something to show. I'm so excited for you because I was telling you should be doing this.
Well,
You
this
should
is
be
it's
doing
your
this
fault.
project.
Kinda
The reason
done
I'm
with
doing this is your fault.
Disney-based
So that's
stuff.
why I
Oh,
wanted the
good.
public to know. It's
For
Chris's
now.
fault.
Blame Chris.
Blame Chris.
Blame me.
That's how
I'm
bad
fine,
it was
I'll take the
sounding.
blame.
That
It's
Flash
like
one
Chris
was
inspired
going
this
being,
whole
especially
thing,
with
so.
the guy,
But dude, don't you
the
should just
criminal
not tell
act stuff he
anyone.
was doing.
It starts
almost didn't wanna
today.
boycott
Tell you
it
about
for
it in
that
about a year.
reason.
Anakmamon on the Streamlab side, 5 parts for
Okay,
for
here we go.
$55. You ready? You ready? Here we go.
Right.
Seeing as how the film was reshot as much as 5 times, depending on the source, Gal Gadot wasn't in it until Zaslav took over. I think that's true. I mean, I'm not doubting you, Anakmamon. I do not keep track of scoopers. I think scoopers, if you're like, listen, before we even get into this, if you're into rumors, totally cool. We talked about every stupid rumor in the comic shop every day. So there's no shame in it. Just keep in mind that 99.9% of them are total bullshit. But it's fun. It's fun to talk about still, as long as because sometimes, rarely, a rumor can actually lead to something happening later because people are so down with it. They get so popular. So yeah, rumor away. But Depending on the source, Gal Gadot wasn't in it until Zaslav
I like
took over.
turning in
Here's
a whole
my
bunch
theory:
of quests at
the
once,
Miller
but
ass shots
it might
were
be worth to
because
turn
of
in these ones just
Sarnoff,
to
Hamada. That wouldn't
see
surprise
what
me
they
at all.
chain into after that.
Sarnoff especially was fucking retarded. Okay, just flat out a terrible, terrible leader. Hamada is good for the lower budget horror stuff and other stuff. He's got his strengths, but superheroes weren't one of them. And all of a sudden, he also had a massive ego.
northwest of
And
the
let's not
place.
forget Toby Emmerich, who was
Turn
a
these in
complete
first, I guess.
dumbass. The lady.
I sure
could you
could use
highlight
your
it
help,
again?
kid.
Actually, I wasn't finished with that one. The lady is where. Okay, the lady. The lady ones. I wonder what he means there.
I don't know.
The lady ones were because of Zaslav. So like the
Oh,
ass
he's over
shots.
60.
Is that what you're saying? Okay.
Well, I don't. Basically, Barry's other Barry, young noob Barry, is naked for a brief period. By brief, far too long
Time is
for
money,
me.
friend.
And I'm in a room of basically 4th grade kids. So I literally 160 seats
Be
in
good.
the screen.
Hey, how you
There were 6
doing?
of us that made it in. It was all families. I don't know what the deal was. They were inviting groups of people. What I think what they were doing is like getting these groups as a way to spread word of mouth. Because who knows what kind of marketing
Time is
budget
money,
this movie
friend.
has. They must have said, look, we don't have a big budget for this. Word of mouth screenings are the cheapest way to do it. You think they're losing on a lot of money by screening it for free? They're not. They're helping spread the word. But I felt the demographic was way too young for this film. It's a tween or teen and above. This is not for 8-year-olds because they were squirming in the film, you know, and they don't get the nostalgia aspect of Michael Keaton either.
Yeah. Unless it's freaking Spider-Man, don't take your 8-year-old. Just
Yeah.
don't.
Keep it quick,
The
kid.
director probably
I ain't
asked,
got all day.
I'm an ass man. Can I have some ass shots in the film? Sarnoff responded, as long as they're Ezra's, but not a woman's. The male gaze is too toxic, and we do not want him to be the face of the DCU. Not that toxic Henry Cavill. Many years later, the director was asked the same question by Zaslav. Responded, why do you think we brought Gadot? Why do you think we asked Gadot to come back? I have Miller shots too. Can we delete them? Not without reshoots.
Oh, so
Shit.
that's what
Okay,
that
linger on the women.
twist was
That'll
for.
balance out the queer. That's what he says. I'm reading.
So we'll go back down this way and kind of go
But
up
it's
that
true.
way, I guess.
Um,
Or-
regardless, I'm not
actually,
seeing
no.
this movie. Ezra is evil, and Gunn fired Cavill, Gadot, and Affleck. That was not a fan attack on par with anything Lucasfilm did. The hiring of Tom King and the bitches who wrote BOP, Watchmen, etc. Watchmen, particularly one of the women who wrote the Watchmen TV series is there. Says this is DOA. I'm done. Another
feeling
personal
he's
theory,
going there,
Gunn
too.
has done everything behind Zaslav's back. Zaslav spent a year hyping up DC, said it was his main focus.
If you wanted a
hired
raptor, could you
Cavill,
get this named
Affleck, and
raptor
Gadot
to
due
be a good
to
one?
fan demand. Said they were the Trinity. Gunn fired them and announced the reboot. Zaslav has downplayed DC and hyped Harry Potter and Lord of the Rings instead. Gunn's
that the
co-head
dead
is
tree?
Peter Safran. Safran worked with Sarnoff. They spent a year sabotaging AT&T's plan, i.e. attacking the Snyder Cut. I've made a whole video on James Gunn. That you can go when he made his little announcement. I don't think he has the chops to do Superman. I could be wrong. I could be proved wrong, and I'd be happy to say I'm wrong. I do not think he has the chops to do Superman. You got to have chops to do Superman. Having Tom King in your writer's room is a horrible red flag. Announcing the Authority
Yeah,
in your
that's a dead
first
tree.
chapter is a horrible red flag. Is a horrible red flag. The Authority is a very mid-2000s book when everybody was doing, here is a really fucked up version of the Justice League. Kind of like, here's another bad Superman. It was a trope. that was interesting at the time, but it kind of, you know, there was just so many of them. People just kind of went, all right, enough.
Oh, he's level 19, huh?
And it was just more deconstruction of the superhero, which I think had been deconstructed beyond repair. And
I think
instead
it
of
looks pretty
focusing
cool.
on reconstructing the superhero, I'm seeing like All-Star Superman. All-Star Superman's a fun comic book. Flash told me to go see the animated movie on 4K. I did. I freaking loved it. I don't think you start with that. I don't think you start with that premise, that theme at all. At all. That's not where you start Superman. If you want to know where to start Superman, you go to Donner. You go to Donner, you go to the comic books. You go to the Golden Age, even the Silver Age, if you want to know where to start Superman. And just make him a hero. Try to remember what that is, Hollywood, what a hero is. I am of the belief that many in Hollywood, Chris, have no clue what that really means. It's so antithetical to all of their beliefs, their belief system, that just America's bad, the world's bad, everything supports white supremacy, and there's no better symbol of that than Superman. I just don't think they can do it.
There is not a common morality that we all agree to, that we agree that this represents good, this represents evil. That is actually something that's questioned now, which is surprising that, you know, I feel like we're at this time. When you look at, like, I think the best thing for a Superman movie to do now, if it was to be made today, would be to resist modernity 100%. In the way that, like, the other movie that did this, that stood out, that became one of the biggest movies and franchises of all time, was Star Wars. The time in which Star Wars was made in the early 70s, that's because Lucas worked on it for years, early 70s to its final release, you know, in May 1977, it was the complete antithesis of everything that was coming out at that time. I mean, everything was dark and
Nihilistic.
dour and depressing. We'd just gotten through Vietnam and Nixon, and people were just down on this country. And here comes a folk space opera, fairy tale, whatever, for kids with a princess and basically a farm boy and a trucker, and it resists everything and just tells a fun story. If anyone were to do that now, it would be you. But every freaking film has got to be dark and this, and you know, women can't be sexy either.
Oh, we're very much in a repeat of the 70s, dude.
Yeah, we are.
We are in a 70s
tell him,
rerun
Chris
right
Gore.
now. Without disco and without the music isn't as good, but and quite frankly, neither of the films. But you're right. What did the freaking first teaser posters for Superman say on them? You will believe a man can fly. That's it. It's very hopeful. Little S going, you know, and that's what James Gunn needs. Not Grant Morrison. Again, I enjoyed the Grant Morrison comic books. They fit for their time. This is like years in the Batman's lore, years in the Superman's lore. You know, so trying different things is fine, but you're restarting from scratch. And the one thing, you know, this got talked about on Real BBC, Batman Brave and the Bold. So, you know what that comic was? It was a goofy team-up comic that did not take place in the main universe. It was Earth B, and it was named after the writer, who was such a wacko because he didn't give a fuck about continuity. So Batman was with characters who were dead, like he wasn't acting like Batman at all. Had great Jim Aparo art, and the cartoon, which was great, did the same thing. It was like, here's kind of a goofy, fun Batman, but it's not Batman. But it's not like, and I love Brave and the Bold cartoon. I actually adore that cartoon. I think it's fantastic. It's like super deep cut if you're a DC fan. It's just like, you know, it's like jazz for DC, you know, music for musicians. It's DC for DC fans, just to have fun. But nobody's gonna ever think Brave and the Bold is on the level of the Animals, which is definitive Batman, which is really good Batman. And the only thing that
There we go. One more defense.
that reflects the Batman from the comic book. As much as I love Keaton, I even like Val Kilmer as Batman in a bad movie. As much as I like The Dark Knight and Batman Begins, as much as I like Ben Affleck in the Batman costume, we have not seen the comic book Batman on screen yet. Nothing even close.
Got
Or the
glimpses.
Batman.
Glimpses, but not
Glimpses, moments, sure. But we've never seen a beginning to end, this is the Batman from the comic books. Now, you could say that about Spider-Man movies. You can. You know, even the Tobey,
talking about
the
the
only thing
darker
missing
Batman,
from the Tobey
the
movies was
that's more of
when,
the
when
detective?
Spider-Man fights, he's talking shit all the time. So they did that in the Garfield stuff. But, you know, Tobey's Spider-Man with Raimi captured the spirit of the comic book Spider-Man. And we haven't even done, like, Batman is always grounded. And I would say the closest one to the comic book would be the guy who didn't read any of the damn comic books, which was Burton. You know, made it kind of a fantasy world, made Gotham a character. You know, that's the kind of shit you need to do. But that costume, man, it was all black. That bugged me. That bugged me for so long. You don't have no idea. I'm like, well, they got the bat symbol right, but why is it all black? It's not Batman. Hi, all. I finally watched Umbrella Academy on Gary's recommendation and loved it. It got a little less good as it went. Yeah, season 1's good. I would just end there. Wondering
guess I'll
if
just
you
come
would
around
have
this
thoughts
way,
on the final
something like
season. About to air, only 6 episodes. Is it gonna suck? Probably.
Definitely.
Probably. And what happened, what's sad about that, Mr. Z, for 1999 is the guy who wrote it's actually really good, but this is the woke mind virus, and this is how it affects even talented people. And they took, I'm a fan of the comic books. I thought it was really fun, but they just leaned so heavy into the identity politics instead of the fantastical time-traveling wacky story of this basically X-Men team. They fucked it up. They fucked it up. But season 1 is really good. But that's a Netflix thing now, isn't it? Aside from Stranger Things, which kind of bucked the trend, with season 4, by the way, not 2 or 3. It's kind of a thing with them that they make on their own. They, you know, and Cobra Kai's not theirs. They bought it. Remember, they make a really good season 1, and that's about it. They lose the plot afterwards because they don't know how to make TV. They don't know how to produce things. They don't know how to produce things, yeah, they'll probably go back to licensing stuff
Or Major
once the
Oil.
streaming war is over and Paramount
Yeah, license
and
stuff.
Sony
Stop
and,
making stuff.
whoever wants to dip
hire
out will
people who
start
know what the
making
hell
their
they're
their
doing.
shit for Netflix again. Max
I'm gonna
Power for
cry
$20.
when
Don't
Avatar,
disparage
The
my
Last
Discovery
Airbender
Plus
comes out, and
subscription.
it's just
Where
butchered
else can I
all
watch
no end.
Cutthroat Kitchen and Naked and Afraid? Hey, listen, I'm no better. I am no better. So real quick, I just want to get your thoughts on this article, Chris. This article, like we're gonna have to go in
Don't mind
depth
me,
on
just
this, and I'm
passing
actually gonna
through.
go in depth on a video.
I watch all your videos, man.
Thanks, brother.
They're great. They're like mini documentaries.
They are. They're good.
We used to treat movie stars like gods. Hollywood grapples with the loss of young star power. Well, you know what happened?
I know too much about you guys.
It was a
now.
combination of a lot of things, but social media. And movie stars went to social media, and we got to know them. And they stopped being movie stars. End of story. And now, kids don't want to be movie stars. For one, it requires work to actually be a good actor. And it's a lot, and honestly, why go through the horrors and terrors that you have to go through in Hollywood, especially if
You
you're
can
a
just be a
kid
YouTube star.
I think a lot more parents are wising up. I mean, I've said this a million times on the live stream, not a million, I've said hundreds. If you love your children, do not let them act in Hollywood. Do not. Don't let them near that fucking place. They want to go there as
Probably
adults,
some
fine,
wise
but
words.
if mine were under my care, no effing way. No
way.
effing way. No way. It's a meat grinder. An absolute meat grinder. Look what it does to the adults. Look what it does to the adults. But yeah, there's a finite amount of talent in the world, and if something else comes along where that talent can go, that's where they'll go. That's where they'll go, and it's not Hollywood anymore. As far as for acting and performing and singing, you can just do that shit in your own now. You don't need, there's like 1,000 gatekeepers you got to go through in Hollywood. Not anymore. Now you can just do your own shit, and it's starting to fracture. And I think this is great. This is decentralizing entertainment, and I think it's a good thing. And yeah, they're going to grapple with it. Now, I guess the whole frame of this article is like everybody was fawning over Harrison Ford at Cannes. It's like, yeah. You also made too many superhero movies. You made it more about the character than the super. And the movie star's been dying for a long time, Chris. Let's be real. This isn't a relatively new thing. It's been a decade, at least. And we just are kind of starting to notice it now. Tom Cruise is probably one of the last ones. Will Smith, not so much. He like even before the slap, he was like losing his luster. The Rock was never a movie star. You know who else wasn't a movie star, Chris? Simu Liu. Simu Liu has never been a movie star. Simu Liu is not a movie star. The hottest package at this year's Cannes Film Festival stars a 76-year-old star and is a reboot of a movie that first dazzled moviegoers in 1993. That's a time, in case you forgot, before TikTok or smartphones, Facebook or Amazon, or any number of technological changes that have reshaped our world and the movie business along with them. And yet, cliffhanger with Sylvester Stallone bravely submitting the mountain again is what? Wait a minute. There's another cliffhanger movie? Is that what they're talking about?
There you go.
That's awesome. Bravely submitting the mountain again is seen as the most commercial scripts out there for buyers hoping to make an adventure film that can traverse hey, Tulsa King Rock, dude. Borders and bring crowds. With a nod to the younger audience who will be needed to turn up if the movie is going to replicate the original blockbuster status. God, I remember that was I was working in the video store. I was back in my video store days, and I remember renting Cliffhanger.
Watching that one even before Gary was recommending it, it's like, damn. This is good.
I was right near a retirement community, so I got all the old people. You know, it was fine. It was great.
Still not Defense 90. Come on.
And a presumably younger Sly. So they go over this.
You know what?
They're talking about Schwarzenegger coming in.
Here.
Expendables 4. He's also doing a. Somebody mentioned in what's the name of the thing he's coming out on Netflix? Did you know he's coming out with a show? Hang on.
Oh.
What's the name of the show, chat? I just saw it, and it looks like he's passing the mantle to the far more capable daughter.
Does he probably start right there?
You know, because we haven't fucking seen that 1,000 times before. But
I'm confident I can
and
kill
they're
him.
talking about Michael Keaton. They're talking about all these other people, and then they bring
With
up how
Mavoidia.
Pattinson's not, the big star that they thought he'd be, and I'll go over it more in depth. But your thoughts, real quick, Chris.
The movie stars are dead. Harrison Ford may be the last one. There are some, like, is Leonardo DiCaprio a movie star? I mean, maybe.
I'd say he is. He's
I'd
pretty
say
huge.
so. Brad Pitt.
Just hasn't been
But
anything in
Is
forever.
Killers of the Flower Moon or the Moonflower gonna make hundreds of millions at the box office though?
Nope.
A 3.5
it's
hour
made to
Martin
make-
Scorsese film?
That's made to win Oscars.
Yes.
Apple wants another Oscar. The one thing that is positive about that film is it's going to get at least a wide theatrical release. And they're kind of, the Academy's finally saying, look, we can't have movies that no one has heard of. Not only has no one heard of, but like they're not opening in theaters. Like you're killing the theatrical release. So, and I actually like that trailer. I think that movie could be really good.
Oh,
but,
he died. Somebody killed him right
but
there.
I mean,
like
it's
4 hours or something. So.
sorry. I'll
Okay,
just
if
read
that's
about it,
the
the historical
case,
events and the tragedy and the horror of the historical events.
Then
I'm not
should
gonna
I just go back down here and wait?
Right. I'd rather see a documentary than.
Look at how effed up we used to be in the past, and it's still the same way now. Fuck off.
Yeah.
Why not just go have fun? I'm sure it'd be fine. Martin Scorsese's awesome. He's great. But No thanks. Not my kind of movie. I'll go see Sisu. You can see Sisu two times,
Or 3.
or almost 3.
Yeah.
By the way, just want to point out again, that cost 6 million euros to make.
It's so cheap in like the grand scheme of things.
It really is. Patrick
I'd love to
Stewart
give
by
that to my
himself
shaman, but
got paid
can't
that
mail
much
stuff
for 6 episodes.
to your guys, so you gotta do it all
Of
on their
Picard.
own.
Brings so much more entertainment,
Yep.
I guess.
And that was the first season. Tom Hanks still a movie star?
What's the last thing he even did? I don't even know.
Okay, movie star is they put butts in seats, not win awards, not a circle jerk. They put butts in seats, and it's just their name. They can be in any movie, because that's the way it used to be. It's the way it used to be. We're gonna go see a Arnold Schwarzenegger movie. We're gonna see a Sylvester Stallone movie. Tom Cruise is it. I think Tom Cruise is it. I think Mission Impossible is gonna get up. It could be highest grossing movie of the year.
I'm gonna
Could
wait
be.
right here.
Maybe second behind
see
Super
if
Mario.
this guy comes around.
Or Flash. You don't know. You don't know. What's up, Yellow Flash? I think Flash will make a lot of money. I think it will make a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's going to do well. I think
How level
it's
20
because the
Hunter
one thing
died.
about this film is it's
You
also a
noob.
crowd pleaser. It's a popcorn movie. Yeah, I mean, there are like so many moments where, mostly in the second half of the film, you're just going to
Oh, that level 19
scream and
Hunter is
applaud.
probably looking for this guy
and
too.
There are lines like it's a crowd pleaser. The film is a crowd pleaser, and I think
Hey,
on
he
that
got the itchy
alone,
guy.
it's going to do well because Little Mermaid looks bad. I mean, just like so
Alan
much
did not
of-
have nice things to say about it.
Yeah, and he's the target market. You know, I mean, he saw a preview of it at D23. Then you've got like Spider-Verse, which looks fine. The
Oh,
Transformers.
I can't wait to
movie
see
is
pregnant Spider-Woman fight. 5 months
Oh my-
pregnant.
Oh my god! You know what? It's a cartoon, so I don't care. I really don't care. Spider-Verse, you know, I'll see it.
I didn't hate the first movie.
one, it was
I liked
fine.
it.
It was fine. You've got the Transformers movie is coming out, and nobody cares about that. Ticket sales for that are soft. I feel like that franchise may be done. Why do I care? It's another, Transformers on Earth. Why don't they just do a Transformers movie with no humans? Have it take
Dude,
place.
This
Look
was the
cosmic.
easiest one to crack.
That'd be a nightmare
Like,
budget.
Don't focus
all
on
the
effing
CG.
humans. You can have one, I guess, but just go full retro. Make them look like they did in the comic books. That's all you need to do. That's all you effing need to do. But no, it's got to
And the
be
retro, more
identity
basic look
politics.
and
And yeah,
stuff, huh?
okay. Well,
But like the old
welcome
cartoon.
to Oblivion. Along
Ridiculous.
with, along with, welcome to the void of dead franchises, along with Star Wars and Star
That's what I thought they
Trek.
tried to do
And
with
then you got
Optimus
the
Prime in
worst-
this next one.
The worst calculation, strategic calculation. I mean, that seems to be Kathleen Kennedy's specialty. Not reuniting
Hey,
Han, Luke, and Leia. in a
She
movie.
doesn't analyze things, Chris. She just does them.
You open Indiana Jones at Cannes, the Cannes Film Festival, and it gets soft mixed to negative reviews, and now people have 6 weeks to not give a shit about it. Like, who in their right mind is good? I think it'll do a decent opening weekend, and then no one will care.
Yep.
Because curiosity factor is going to be there. But my God, if you were going to open in a can, it should have opened 2 weeks after that. 6 weeks? What a stupid miscalculation.
6 weeks,
This might
and
be
now
another one where I
embargo's
may just
lifted.
have
So
to
if anybody
wait.
else sees it early, they can give a review
give it
to
one
a
shot.
full review with spoilers and
Oh.
everything. So
Hope this guy stays
yeah,
distracted with clearing
yeah,
everything
you're right.
out.
Like 40 days of bad reviews. What a dumb move.
Just digging their grave.
Is there more of a Kathleen Kennedy move than that? I
Yeah.
don't think so.
Or like announcing movies that never happen.
Oh, well,
You know?
she
Like
keeps
that
doing
Ray
that.
movie.
Yeah, that's dumb.
I hope it happens. I really do.
About not
Did
announcing
you hear the new
anything
rumor?
until you're
I was watching Geeks
you're
and
going
Gamers the
through and
morning.
and it's
Um,
only
For
like
some reason, Ryan Cannell was paired with
a
Jay,
year out
drunk
at
Freaky
most.
Eye. So I don't know why Jeremy wasn't there, but apparently this was thrown out there, and my feeling is a lot of these quote rumors are actually created by Lucasfilm.
I think
as
some
a
of
way
them
to
are.
test what fans think. So the rumor is that both Hayden
Yeah,
Christensen
gotta not be stupid because
and Mark
he's gonna have
Hamill
two
will be Force
people
ghosts
on him.
in her
That's
film.
what I'm thinking of.
That wouldn't surprise me. It would just not surprise me. Don't care.
Just trying to not
Don't
get
care.
snuck up on.
Don't care. No, the fans have known for years what she will eventually find out, what Disney will eventually find. These are giant megalithic corporations who do not turn on a dime, and this is the problem with corporatism in Hollywood. They've allowed too many of the activists in, and they don't listen to fan bases because they have really drank the Kool-Aid that they're all a bunch of bigots. So it'll be very hard for them to admit in a couple, 3 years, maybe 5, that they killed Star Wars with The Last Jedi. Something we knew the minute we walked out of that fucking movie. We're like, it's dead. It's dead. It's dead. Because I'm the one, along with you, along with Jeremy and Ryan, that has loved this thing from when I was a kid, from the first time I saw it. So I would consider
I want at least confirmation
Ryan,
that he spawns
Jeremy,
right here.
me, anybody in the chat who was a fan for over 10 years, an expert on Star Wars. There's varying degrees. There's the EU fans, whatever. But you're a fucking
I know he pats
scholar
around,
compared to the bankers
then
who work for
he
Disney.
died over there,
and the
so I
activists who
mean,
come in and try to
does he
usurp
spawn
these
here and then
franchises.
circle around?
And you knew that very
or does he
second.
spawn somewhere
it
else?
was
Like, is
dead.
he dead somewhere
So
else right now?
now it's just waiting for the
on
giant
that 8-minute
stupid
timer, I have no
corporation to
idea.
figure it out. Trevor G for $27.99. That's Canadian. Says you could one up Vast Christian song and do a review of Nefarious. I gotta wait till it's out on digital. I couldn't see it in the theater. I tried. I was offered to see it, but I wanted to pay for it. The author of the book is based on, and the producer is based, and the producer of the film mentioned you as someone he wanted to get the movie in front of. And I will see it, and I will review it. I committed to doing that, so I will review it. I will review it. I might be able to, like, if it gets out on digital, I don't know where it probably is.
Any
I'll
minute
find it this
now.
weekend. As long
Should
as I
happen
pay
because
for it.
I think we're
Not gonna
closing in on the
go
8-minute
to
mark.
it.
I think it had already been killed and it was
Enoch Bamon,
despawning.
two parts for
The body
$10
despawned
says,
up there, so I was like, oh, that may be closer
oh, this is
to
part
like
3
5
and part 4.
minutes.
Did I
No,
stop?
no. He just hadn't sent
wanna
his
keep
in, and I
looking
thought
behind
he
me.
was
Okay,
done. So I apologize.
Sarnoff and Saffron also planned on making the intersectional superhero team JSA a Supergirl movie and a Green Lantern show. Zaslav shut those down.
I would assume
Guns
he's
plan
waiting here.
an
Either he
intersectional
knows he's
superhero
here
team,
or
the
he's just
Authority,
following
and a
the
Supergirl
questy thing
movie
as well.
and a Green Lantern show. Coincidence? But Zaslav hired James Gunn. Like, I mean, do you hire people and then like find out you philosophically disagree with them on just about everything? Yes. I think it's ridiculous for a talk of an 8-year plan. I think that's just freaking dumb. I think it's a dumb move. There should be a 1 movie plan. Make a good Superman movie. Worry about everything else later. I think he's already got. Every time they've tried to create a cinematic universe, they have failed. Let's keep in mind that when Marvel started, it didn't try to make a Marvel cinematic universe. It was trying to get a couple, 3 characters off the ground. That's it. One thing at a time. So, putting the cart before the horse once again.
Exactly.
Once again, and we're talking about a guy who directs films, hasn't run a studio yet. Kathleen Kennedy was considered was a very respected producer in this town until she became an executive, and some people are just promoted beyond their ability. Kathleen Kennedy is perfect proof of that. Part 4, Sarnoff, etc. also had
it spawns
the
every 15 minutes at the mouth of
Rider
Wailing
on
Caverns.
Birds of Prey writer.
So
Birds of
that's
Prey
why
on,
he died over there.
and Tom King to help shape the DCU. Again, coincidence? Or are they just repeating what happened with AT&T? I think it is an example of meet the new boss, same as the old boss. Maybe I'm just paranoid. No, it's not.
Dude, is this guy following
Hollywood's
me?
filled with duplicitous, backstabbing POSs who will pretend to be your friend. That is nothing new, and that's going to also lead into why this town is falling apart. This strike, the writers have some legit complaints. The problem is the producers have some legit complaints. The other problem is they both worked hand in hand to create the Hollywood of today, the modern Hollywood. They both were the architects of the modern Hollywood that fans are rejecting, that paying customers are rejecting to the tune of 40%
Oh, he's
at
right
the movie
there.
theaters. And once they started getting some people back due to some studios recognizing, hey, shit, let's just make stuff that people like.
He's every
Then
15 minutes.
They go on strike. They go on strike. It's just, it was horribly
Okay,
timed.
yeah, I'm moving on.
When I asked
I'll do this
one
one
of the
later.
negotiators of the WGA,
That's
what do you think about
ridiculous.
you guys striking during pretty perilous economic times? He rejected the idea. He said that these corporations are making millions, and one of the reasons they're making millions is through layoffs.
Yeah.
Is through layoffs. They are bolstering their company for the stockholders. Okay, that's true, but I don't think Disney is swimming in money through its entertainment division. I think it gets a lot of money from parks and other companies. So overall, Disney's not going to die, but the entertainment companies need to be profitable for the larger corporation. Hollywood is relying heavily on Amazon right now, who is just spending money like a freaking coke addict in Vegas. But they could shut down their studio tomorrow. I've said this before, and it wouldn't affect their company bottom line at all. It's a vanity project. It's a vanity
nice.
project, and it's there to drive subs and advertising, or subs to their mail order site, which is what they are. So I'd be nervous. I'd be really nervous if I was in Hollywood. Plus, death of movie star. Plus, Hollywood grappling with the fact of social media being a detriment to them in many
There
ways,
we go.
including competition that they will never ever be able to compete with, because they can throw up all the nice studio lights and $1 million studios they want. You can't, and sometimes you just can't compete with, a guy with a beanie sitting in his studio, or Benny Johnson, but like 10,000 Benny Johnsons. You can't compete against that.
In each of those, Gary, you point out with their own niche audience. Like, was it Carrie Smith who was just like, yeah, the whole knitting community? And I'm
got
like, I didn't even know there was a
10,000 people.
knitting community. Like, if you can carve out a sliver of a small audience
That are taking everybody's
cater to
attention.
10,000 people, whatever, that's considered
10,000
nothing.
and like 10 million
But
are
that
watching
is
them.
a sustainable living for a person who can have 10,000 people that check out their stuff. That's doable.
That's a
The other
good.
thing is,
Worst case scenario. Like, it's not even a worst case scenario. It's a side gig. It's extra income, and you're having fun. You're also
Right.
having fun. You don't need to be I don't need to be the biggest channel. Like 750,000 subscribers beyond my wildest dreams. It's awesome. I don't need to be the biggest channel. I don't. Never had to be.
but it's no Mr. Beast. I don't really care who Mr.
Yeah.
Beast.
I'm never gonna be Mr. Beast. No, I'm not. I'm never gonna be Critical Drinker. No, I'm not. I don't worry about those people. I mean, I enjoy Critical Drinker because he's really good. He's really good.
Sure, you might be a little bit
Getting into
envious,
the content
but
creation game.
can't be
competing
jealous of all that stuff. You just got to
that's the
keep
best advice
busting
I
your
got.
ass.
Yeah.
I keep
The
thinking of
other
some
thing,
videos
Gary,
I
I'm
don't
seeing more and
want to
more
make, and
is
that's my problem right
articles
there.
of
I'm thinking
get
about doing
ready
it,
for
not
the
doing
long
it.
haul.
Just need to
This
go
is
ahead
gonna
and do
be a
it,
bloodbath.
like I did with
Talking
my
about
first
these
couple.
strike, and how these upcoming combined strikes, how long this
Just
is
in
going to
too
go
much
on.
of a mode of wanting to play
Oh,
games
aren't they having
instead
a
of
dance
reviewing.
party?
Yes, I sent you a thing
What?
about how I think it's this Friday.
They're having a strike dance party. They're taking selfies. They're like doing Star Trek Day, and they're giving each other pizza. I'm like, are they going to be doing this in 5 months?
because they have nothing to do. Basically.
Well, they won't have any money to
Well, see,
strike with.
it's all the writers who are successful, and this supposedly is a strike for the working class writer who is not going to have any money in 5 months. And there's a couple of things they're asking for which just aren't realistic, like a mandatory minimum of writers in a writer room. Like, what? Like
Doesn't make any
residuals,
sense.
fine,
You have as
absolutely.
many as
show
you
us the
need to do
streaming
the
numbers.
project.
I'm all for that. I hope they
It's
win
2
big
writers,
on
that's
that.
2 writers. If that's 10
I
writers,
hope
that's 10
the
writers.
producers bend the knee and we get to find out what the actual streaming numbers are. That would be so exciting for very selfish reasons. But Chris, yeah, this, you know, everybody I've talked to, even including, I mean, the WGA guy is going to say WGA things, but he made it sound like it's going to go like
Yeah. Oh, I watched that interview with you and Rob together.
couldn't ask
It was
much.
fascinating. You guys asked really good questions, especially about the numbers. The numbers will never be revealed. Only producers or showrunners will. I mean, this is weird control. I mean, like, it's typical Hollywood wants to control everything. But yeah, that was a weird answer.
It was, well, the lead negotiators know the numbers for the WGA, but they can't share them. So I'm like,
Right.
but like, why? I mean, that's a weird one for me, because if you're the lead negotiator for
Go up
your
this way
people,
and then head that
your
way.
collective, what you are fighting for, and you know the numbers, but you can't share them, like, why? Like, that's what
Well,
you're fighting for. It's proprietary. Okay, it's proprietary, but shit, that seems to be a pretty good negotiation. Like, to me, it sounds like they know the numbers are low, and they just don't want to break it to the the
No.
rest of
Or
the
in
writers.
some cases, they're high and they don't want to pay people more.
Well, producers, I think, in some case, like Stranger Things, clearly gets watched by a lot of people. Cobra Kai clearly gets watched by. There are a handful of shows that are extremely popular, without a doubt.
100%.
But then there's most of them are just farts in the wind. Like
Yeah.
Willow probably got watched by a couple 100,000 people. Let's be real. And
If
they're all
any.
named Disparu. He watched it more than anybody.
Poor guy.
Okay, we're coming up on our hard out here for my super secret project. Okay, I didn't do the
Does that
square
guy
up
do that
Monday
on
night 'cause I had to go on
purpose?
I did a live stream
he's a
with
rogue?
Clobbering Times. Go check it out.
He's
Thursday
fine.
night. Thursday night. It's our square up. Be about 8 p.m. Central on Nerdrotic
Oh,
Live.
Thursday night's
So
the
if I
square
missed your
up.
super chat, please tune in there. But we're gonna read a couple more here.
Yeah.
Nerds Gold for
So
$50.
something to listen to on that night as well. Nice.
Wow.
If they just Fitty.
Look
if
at all
they
the people
just
waiting for that
sat
guy. I was
an
doing
hour,
that this morning.
Had an atom.
This is one of the ones
of
where I got
ingenuity.
There's only one other guy there.
I wonder if they could have had
Man, it
a
kinda
specter
sucks
of
as
an idea
a
about. I see
Well,
what you're
eventually
doing
get
here.
Hellfire, I guess.
Specter of an idea about different team that might actually
Rain of
make some
Fire.
sense. The Authority, and that would change the fate of the DCU. So you dropped Dr. Fate, the Atom, the Spectre. Dude, the JSA should be the first team. You're right. And even if you did it a la The Watchmen and just did a montage or something before a Justice League movie, or you have your earlier, and that would lead you, like, you could do period piece movies. You could do shit. Just pick one. I think Dr. Fate would probably be awesome in like the 30s. That would be fucking cool. But pick your time. You know, whatever. Just to do it. You could do period pieces with those characters, and instead of an Authority, so you can have a gay Batman, a gay Superman married. That's the only reason you would pick an Authority. Like, that was purely a vanity pick for James Gunn. Right? You know, like,
Yeah.
if I was given a DCEU or whatever, I think it's Wildstorm anyway, my vanity pick would be We 3. Has nothing to do with superheroes, but I just like the fucking story a lot. So I'd go, yeah, I want to do this movie for me. You know, but like the Authority would work in a chapter 10 of the DC universe, not in chapter 1. It's such a bad, and you can tell what they're going to do. They're going to make that the first team, and they're going to like fuck things up, and that's going to lead to a Justice League forming, so a good team forming later. Like, that's pretty much what I think everybody can guess that's what they're going to do. Well, that was kind of the approach Zack Snyder took.
It's a fact. In the new economy, average people are becoming millionaires faster and easier than ever before.
Are they now?
And it didn't work with everybody.
Through real estate?
Whether you're a fan of him or not, you got to admit, didn't work with everybody.
That is where you do see
Whose fault is it? Warner Brothers,
the
producers.
newest millionaires, mostly,
Yes.
if they know what they're doing.
But it didn't work with everybody.
But what James Gunn has to do is show the strength.
Yeah.
And basically, so much when you look at like Guardians 3, yes, I enjoyed it, but damn, could it have been shorter. Restraint in terms of just whether it be running time, whether it be putting his friend in a part and then maybe lingering a little too much on his friend or his wife. Like, it's like, dude, like it's too much. It's not. This is why you get too many cooks or too many concerns. Because I mean, it's so rare that like a film series or a franchise gets to a certain number in that franchise and it's actually decent. Oh, by the way, Gary, I got another email newsletter from one of the many newsletters I subscribe to. I got the title of this article: How to Make Sure You Are Ready for the Coming Shitstorm. So that's the title of an actual article. But
Shitstorm, like the strike?
Be,
the strike? Or is it concerning the
what's that?
strike?
It's related to everything. Not just the strike, just like things are gonna change.
The paradigm shift?
Hollywood.
Ooh, send me that.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I look at like James Gunn. Like, I don't think of him as Superman. I think of him as like Suicide Squad. I think is a perfect match for what he did.
Yeah.
Right. That was fun. I thought that was great. I actually think I liked that Suicide Squad movie better than Guardians 3.
The Suicide
Squad. Just went in here and head up here, see if we can get whatever the hell that is.
I did too. I did too. Yes.
What's the?
I would agree with that assessment.
Make sure I don't do anything crazy.
Him doing Superman, I just don't see that as a match. You know, I'd almost rather see someone like Christopher Nolan do Superman and do his, because he was involved in Man of Steel and
yes, he
also
was.
Kind of he distanced himself creatively because he just didn't agree with a lot of what Snyder was doing, and then it turned out how it turned out. But I think that being grounded in a reality was a good thing. Maybe making it a little too dark was probably not a good choice. But man,
oh come on, I turned around.
I don't know, like who would be right for a Superman movie now? I don't know. Exactly.
Vince
tagged him, but whatever.
Matthew Vaughn.
Yeah.
Matthew Vaughn. He's had an idea forever. Him and Mark Millar.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Danny Snowflame. Cocaine is his god, and he is the instrument of its will. For $50. 50. Hail all. This one is directed to Frank Gore or Chris Gore, Adam Gorlock. Whatever your name is, may I suggest a rebranding? I love the sentiment of the hot phobic, but it feels too clunky on the tongue. May I suggest fit phobic instead? No, I like hot phobic.
Yeah, that goes into
you
the
can
worst.
be fit and not
Ashendale.
hot, technically.
You get that map thing that
hot
shows.
Hot phobic is not
like
a
the
word.
mat
It's
levels.
stupid.
It's supposed to be stupid.
Which reminds me of other words that might also be stupid.
Yeah.
So it's like ridiculousness of that word. The fact that it really is clunky is why it's memorable. Well, fit phobic is because I do actually love alliteration. So thank you for that. I'm an alliteration fan. But hot phobic is such a dumb word that it actually is it's intended to be mocking.
It is. And we're at our heart out. So we got one more. I apologize. On this show, we do read them all. So Thursday, 8 p.m., Nerdrotic Live.
One of the miners
The rest
discovered
will be
the
read
size of your
and given them
fist.
full time.
Mark
of Reality for $20 says, I'm Gary's age approximately.
Mark of Reality.
My brother went to my dad's house and found some old stuff, including my 14-inch tall Darth Vader that I had since I was 7. I remember those. Disney killed a piece of my childhood. Yep.
Yeah.
I kept all my Star Wars figures for years and
Oh,
gave
so
them
it's
away
beyond
after
these
the Last
guys.
Jedi. Just like
That's heartbreaking.
dead to me. Gave them to my patrons when I had Patreon. Okay, we're gonna wrap this one up. Thanks everyone for watching. Thanks
we're
to
at the
everyone who's
end.
Left a super chat and donation. Thanks to the Modrotics. Chris, what you got coming up?
Critics Court today. Star Wars is on trial. It starts at 1 p.m. Pacific time, 4 p.m. Eastern. You are the jury, so join us as a member of the jury. Gonna be great. We have Shane from Popcast.
Oh yeah,
on,
that's the thing to where
Tom
he's been
from
doing to where
Midnight's Edge.
how
So it's gonna be
it's
a fun
criminal
trial
how
today.
Star Wars has been
And,
destroyed and he
check it
plays
out.
the
Please
judge and
join
he's
me.
all these people that play the
Alan will be
prosecutors
there.
in defense.
Alan A.
Go watch my dad.
Yeah, watch X-Ray Girls. I used that clip on the show that we shot in Vegas. It was hilarious. So thanks for that.
You're welcome.
And Gary, I left you a gift in
So
Twitter. I
am I
DM'd you on
picking
Twitter.
up stuff on the
I
ground? That's
left
what
you a
normally
little gift,
gears are,
a real
right?
movie that exists. Maybe you could
Oh.
screen. I said X-Ray Girl too.
Oh my god, my
This is
face
a
when I
real
saw that.
I feel like
No!
it's a real movie.
Is it
I thought it was a joke.
is it
It's
funny?
not a joke. It
Is it-
exists.
Is it funny?
I saw the trailer for it. It looks terrible.
Is it supposed to be a joke? I mean, it's got to be
No.
a joke. It's
No,
got to
this
be.
is a real movie.
No. No.
It
I
looks
have a
gotta
feeling
share
there's
the screen,
supposed to
guys.
be a
I am sharing
mercenary
the
quest
screen.
for this. But we'll
This
see.
Ugh,
Shiro.
more like zeros.
Oh my god, this is.
It
so
might
bad.
almost be over, folks. It might almost be over. This could actually be good news. If this was a comedy, that would be effing funny. If it was just a bunch of girl bosses like dying in horrible ways,
Made fun of all the woke
It would be
tropes that
so
are out
good.
there.
I've seen the trailer. It's serious, but it's so serious it looks stupid.
okay, I can't wait to see
Maybe
it.
you can watch it on FNT for fun.
Maybe. Thanks, Chris.
Thank you, Gary. And just thanks for having me on here. Always fun to hang out with you and X-Ray Girl on a Wednesday. I really appreciate it.
Cheers. X-Ray Girl, what you got coming up?
Tonight we got legal mindset on Poor Choices. So if you want to ask questions about Passport Bros, and I just found out he lived in Asia, so we're gonna just chat a little bit about that. So yeah, Poor Choices. We also have enough them on again with another.
Oh, come on.
Just a reminder that Christopher McQuarrie and Cavill wrote a script for a Man of Steel sequel on the set of MI6. That would be good. It'd be based on The Man of All Seasons, which would even be better. They wanted Joseph Kosinski to direct. McQuarrie and Kosinski made Top Gun Maverick.
Top Gun Maverick.
Yeah, I would watch the shit out of that. Absolutely.
Oh my god,
That's what they should do.
Top Gun Maverick. Joseph Kosinski directing a Superman movie based on, like, that's just, how is that not a home run?
How is that
so
not
stupid.
doing? And thank you for the congratulations on 750,000 subscribers. We'll do like a continuation of the celebration at a later date, probably Monday. But thank you all again, and I will see you all soon. Ciao, ciao.
Bye.
Later.
Okay, and that's the end of the nooner. Always love Gary and his, YouTube shows / podcast stuff. Brings out good information on a lot of things. Information-wise, yeah, of course, information-wise. But for mixture between political, mainly like entertainment, some games, and then political stuff. Or other just pop culture things. He's very knowledgeable when it comes to all things comic book and other. Oh man, I see somebody get one. Oh, where are these silly pails? Guess I can Google ignition, see how that one starts. I was wondering, since it said ignition, did it have something to do with shredders. You get 2 nugget things each time you do this. I don't know. Anything else interesting to listen to on the YouTube? Nope. See a couple over here. Wait, let me look at my... I'd clicked a few things on my watch later. No, it looks like the other big one I actually watched earlier while I was making dinner. It's one of the Geeks and Gamers things. Alright, got them all. Okay. Let's go around here real quick. Let's look that up. WoW Classic Ignition Quest. Oh, it's add a shredder. Let's see. Oh, okay, it's an escort. Oh, there's Wizzle Crank. Oh, he's gone. Oh, so did somebody just do his thing? Okay. Well, let's wait over here by him, I guess? Sure, why not? I'll give it a try. Got a whole bunch of complete quests. If I do this one... and turn them all in, I may hit level 20 off of that. Oh. Oh, there's 2 guys waiting on... oh, forget it. Let's go this way then. Let's go get that cat's eye. Make sure we got that again. Let's take that off. Make sure I'm not gonna get killed by anything. So let's go this way. Oh, Nina Infinity's got... oh, she's on with Ricada. Let's listen in on what they're doing.
Can you
the scrutiny of places like Gab and Truth and Parlor so far. So embrace that, use it, bring
I mean,
people. Bring
it was
people
crazy
away.
it was crazy
Oh yeah,
for
the
Trump
presidential run.
to go to CNN town hall. Like that was crazy because I was like, what the hell is this guy doing? But it was also awesome because you get to see him in a, you know, kind of like not friendly environment, and just kind of Trump won that night. Like it was a really, really good comeback. You know, it was just like it was a really good thing. And we were talking about it for
Yeah.
days afterwards. People were talking about it for
Right.
days, about the things he said, about his reactions to the lady, you know, all that kind of stuff. But,
Right.
you know, Ron didn't have any of that. So I think that was a kind of lacking. But that was my perspective on it. Are you going to vote
Nina's stream.
when the thing
Anyone
happens?
passes through and is wondering
Primary
who are you
or
talking
like
about?
Well, either way.
I mean, I'll vote, and most likely because the likely Democrat nominee is going to be Biden.
Mhm.
I know RFK is making waves and all that stuff, but incumbency is so powerful, and it just tends to be that way. But it makes a good
Yeah, even
story
with
to
how
have a
horrible
competitor
he
that's really
is.
definitely going to compete.
Yeah.
Kind of
And
wondering
that
what
keeps the news cycle
their
going. But I think the most likely outcome is going to be Biden. I'm definitely not
is
going
it
to
just
vote
going
for
to be
him.
all just
So
Trump
whoever the
bashing
Republican
and
candidate is will most likely
they hope
get
it
my
works?
vote, unless they're
Hope
absolutely
it's just pure arrogance and it
which
just like flops.
it's hard
like
to
it did with
fathom that they'll
Hillary's
be
thing.
that bad.
But we'll see.
But it is possible.
What will their strategy
But
be?
yeah, so I mean, but as for if
Other
it's
than
Trump
cheating.
or DeSantis, who seem to be the two front runners, I don't really care. I think there's big problems with both of them, and I really don't like the Republican prospect for 2024. I really don't. I think the Republicans are poised to split themselves up and to divide the party and destroy any chance at winning. But I'm hoping I'm wrong. But yeah, I'll definitely vote because I think Biden is a disaster for America, and I want
Is
Biden has
Trump
been
going
an absolute
independent
disaster
or
for sure. I mean, even you know,
is he going Republican?
with DeSantis being as monotone as he was, like there's nothing compared to freaking Biden. I mean, that guy doesn't even remember his name. I don't understand how he's president. This is it's actually kind of crazy. But the last time I was on your show, though, I heard Dick Masterson say something interesting, which was that Gavin Newsom is going to be the president, and I was like, wait, what? And you kind of agreed with Dick at the time, and I was like, huh? Like,
Well, I think Gavin, I don't think he's going to be president in 2024, but I think Gavin is poised to run as a Democrat, and I think it's terrible. I think the things Gavin has going for him is he looks like kind of
This is the mind.
a nice contrast to Biden as far as just aesthetic. He's younger, he's more vibrant and vigorous. He runs a huge state. I don't want Gavin to be president. I think Gavin is a disaster.
He's a
I think he's a
piece of
mini
shit.
tyrant, and I hope he catches on.
Crap.
I was gonna say fire, but that seems
Death
rude.
Row? Oh, never mind.
I just don't want him around.
I understand completely. But like, so if he does run this year, do you think he would beat Biden? Like, no, or yes?
No, I don't think anybody's gonna beat Biden on the Democrat ticket. I think it behooves the media to have a narrative that somebody's gonna challenge Biden like legitimately, because it gives them a story to run. They always want drama. They need things to be closer than they are. But incumbency is so fucking strong. Like it just always is strong. Incumbents have something like a 90%
I would
track record
love
of
it if it
winning
would
the
break this
election, the
cycle.
general election. So running someone against that, it sours most
Fortunately, I
people in the
mean,
party.
there's that true,
and
but
it
then
just-
they
it just
knocked
causes problems.
Trump
Now,
out
Biden
with
might
how
get sick or
nasty
something like
they
that. That
made
could change
things.
things. But assuming he's healthy enough, and by healthy enough, I mean just kind of where he is right now, where he can barely remember his own name. I think he's the guy. I think he's the guy that's going to run, and his chances are really good statistically. I think the country's in dire straits and could use anybody else, but
I
that's
know,
just where I think
like
it is.
anybody else at this point. But it's so
Yeah.
funny though, because I remember when he like first became president. I was like, I give it 30 days, and he's gonna be like, I can't make it, and then Kamala Harris is gonna be president. I mean, I was
Yeah.
totally wrong, but I thought they were gonna go that route. Like, I thought he was just gonna like win it for her, and then just be like, you know.
I thought they would wait until 2 years, and then so I thought it'd be the end, like beginning of this year, right after that
place is a
2-year
little
cycle.
sketch.
Biden would get sick or 25th Amendmented, and that would then be a 10-year Kamala opportunity. and that would have been fucking terrifying.
That's what I thought too. I really did think that was gonna happen, but it didn't. So I'm kind of like, that's interesting.
I did not mean to do that.
Because I thought they had that in like as a plan, but I guess
Yeah.
that wasn't.
Thank God they don't.
Yeah, thank God. Steven, thank you so much for the $9.99. Says no one and none of the policy he spoke about for an hour was Rhino speak. He was answering the questions. There was over 300 concurrent listeners, and only one person, Massey, took the time to thank Elon. I heard like 2 or 3 people thank Elon. One of them was the girl. She was like, "Thank you so much for the giving us free speech back and unhiding our accounts." And like, well, I was just like, "Girl, let's go." Also, we're now being joined by another gentleman.
You let me down, man. Now I don't believe in nothing no more. I'm going to law school. No!
What's up, Jeff?
I'm Jeff.
Oddly, that was the conversation I had with my father before I went to law school. Which is weird. My favorite N people. Hey,
How's it going, brother?
How's it
Good.
going?
I'm glad that discount vices could hold down the fort while I was gone.
Right, that's right. Discount vices. So discount, I can only afford a small shirt.
Look at his shirt. Do you see his shirt? Look how attractive it is. Isn't it amazing?
I can sew 2 small shirts together.
Oh my God. Well, thank you for being here tonight, Jeff. It's wonderful to have you here. This is the 60th show. It's actually kind of it's a milestone.
That's
so I'm
awesome.
glad you made it.
Did we stop talking about Trump?
Oh
And sit at
no!
this?
Well, I mean,
Okay.
Are you?
we're just you. I mean, did you listen
Oh.
to any of it? Do you have any thoughts?
I did. Just don't say glitch.
He
I just
runs
wanted
in
to do this.
all his shit aggro's to me.
White House. I have to be over before it starts.
And Howard Dean. Oh my God. That'd
They
be
needed
great.
a soundboard or something for sure to lighten that shit up.
Well, see, I was wondering if he didn't do it on purpose because he knew what happened to Howard Dean. He was like, I just got to be as monotone and as nondescript as possible, and then maybe people will like me.
Yeah, it was weird. There was one point where I was dying.
I can't believe
because
that happened.
on the first stream that they had to.
Well, I got my shaman I can potentially do, but I knew everything kept respawning, but then I wasn't expecting everything to just come back that quickly. Oh, that is ridiculous. I'm sorry, guys, but that ends the stream. I didn't have my Hellstone. I just put myself yet in another situation that fucked everything up. And I knew those guys hit hard, but I couldn't get my Void Walker again because I don't know what happened. I kept spamming the key, and it didn't give me the Drained Soul thing. And when that guy ran out, I guess I should have just started running. I can't believe that, and then I can't even get the fucking fear off. And then another one respawned. It is so stupid. Well, I think I'm just going to stop it there. I really don't want to go on because I got nothing to go on to unless I want to play that shaman that's a little bit higher. And again, I don't even make it to level 20, so it's every little thing, tiny little distractions, overextend dead. So that's it. I'm done for the night. Peace.